Hey, how goes it, everybody? Happy motherfucking New Year, and welcome to Pillow Talk with Paul Goneau, episode 4. Podcast is brought to you by Neon Light District. Visit neonlightdistrict.com and use code PILLOWTALK to save 10%. And by The Great North Apparel. Visit thegreatnorth.net and use code PILLOWTALK to save 30%. Alright, so my guest today is a really good friend of mine. He's a father, a chef, a tattoo artist, and co-owner of Sweet Alice Confections, John Manley.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, and Manley is your real name, right?
That's
like it's not some made-up name for everyone.
No, that's my, yeah.
Because it's pretty fucking dope. You know, I hate my last name. Well, I just hate my last name, I think, because I don't really get along with my family. But
I think it's grass is greener. Like, everybody hates their name. Like, for me, it's like, there's baggage attached to it. Like, when I was younger, everybody thinks, like, oh, man, like, okay, so now you gotta be tough, so you're gonna get swung at. Or, like, you're gonna drink the most, or you have the most girlfriends, or, you know, it's
yeah.
It's
You don't
like,
hunt? You don't hunt?
Flex.
Yeah. No, I fucking love that. I feel like this is the first time I've actually called you John, like, since we've known each other. I always pretty much just refer to you as Manley.
Yeah, most people do.
Yeah.
Which is weird. And like, my name is actually, like, my first name is hyphenated. It's a double name. So, like, wherever I go, I can tell where I know somebody from. If it's work, they usually call me John, or they call me Manley. And my first name is John-Ryan. So, growing up, if somebody yells out in a mall somewhere or something, yo, JR, I know I grew up with that person.
Isn't John Ryan the name of Owen Wilson's character in
Wedding
Crashers? That's dope, man.
Yeah.
That's dope. At least you have one, and it's a really good movie. Like, there's no Paul Goneaus. On Facebook, there's, like, one other Paul Goneau, and he's, like, an accountant, you know, and his profile is, like, a fucking suit. So it's like, you'll never see a movie with Paul Goneau in it, unless it's me, you know? But, yeah.
Biographic pic.
So, dude, I haven't seen you since, what, the beginning of November?
I think so.
You finished this?
Yeah, beginning of November, yeah.
Yeah, it turned out pretty good,
It healed good, man.
Not bad.
Yeah, it healed really great.
Not bad. How was Christmas and shit, man?
Oh, man, Christmas was busy. Like, I mean, for the pandemic, Christmas was awesome. Like, there wasn't a lot of travel, so, like, that stress that's sort of, like, obligational at Christmas is gone. Like, there was, like, okay, we gotta go to your mom's, we gotta go to my mom's, we gotta go this, that, and the other thing, and gifts for every cousin in the family, and, like, you know, like, not that stuff can't be fun, but, like, it's stressful.
It was nice to take a break.
Yeah. And
Did you have anybody over? Or it was just you four?
No, so we did Christmas morning at our house. We have a blended family, so my stepson, Charlie, his dad came over Christmas morning, and we did brunch and gifts and everything, and it was awesome. And then we went to my mother-in-law's place in Mississauga. She's by herself, and, like, with the pandemic and all the lockdown restrictions, we're the only family that's been interacting with her according to the rules or whatever, and she's, you know, a stickler for the rules, so, like, we tried to make sure we didn't have any weird crossover and everything, and we had a lovely dinner at her place, and she did the works, turkey and everything. Like, she's from Newfoundland, so it was, like, turkey and turnip and, you know, cabbage and
all the good shit.
It was great, man. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I enjoyed dinner this year, and it's fun. I kind of get why a lot of housewives drink a little bit when they... Dude, I was in the greatest fucking mood all day, and, like, I was stressed out pretty much all day. I had people coming over, just a couple people, not, like, anything crazy. And I had to make dinner. It was my first time making dinner. I was doing some baking. Like, I had all these things on the go, and, like, any other day I would have been like, fuck! But I don't know, man. It was a lot of fun. I had a couple shots, and just fucking, we had some stand-up on, and we were just chatting, listening to some fucking Christmas music.
It sounds like a really just normal, nice holiday like get together, right? I'm gonna like me personally. It's been really good the last couple of years because I haven't cooked turkey. I hate
What
doing.
are you guys eating?
No, we
Is it
we
turkey?
had,
You're just
we had
not
turkey.
cooking
I'm
it.
not cooking it.
Gotcha.
So like you know how it is. Like I mean, we met working in a commercial kitchen, right? So like when you're a cook, everybody that you come across, because you spend so much time in the kitchen, like that's the kind of job where all your time, that's what you're doing. So everywhere you go, people are like asking you to cook shit.
Yeah. Oh, you cook? Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
always
yeah.
asking you to cook shit, or they're buying you cooking related shit. Like how many aprons do I have? Like,
Yeah.
like it's so dumb. Like, but I mean, it comes from a good place. But like,
You can get Pillow Talk aprons at the link.
awesome.
Yeah, I don't know
Really?
if you checked it out. Yeah, I just started
No, I
doing.
didn't.
Wow, you're getting another fucking apron, dog. Yeah, I just
I'll throw it in the
I had
pile.
it kind of set up towards, like literally, I had it finished and set up on Boxing Day, and
Oh,
so I just
sweet.
I just waited until January 1st and just kind of, yeah, I don't know, release that.
That's fantastic. We're moving along so fast.
Yeah, well, it's just like I found a like a site that you don't really have to, you don't have to put any money down. So it was a huge bonus. Right now, the only thing I'm really gonna put money down for is hats, because I'm serious about hats. I really
So
want.
is it like a commission based sort of deal, or like
Yes, yeah. So basically, they have all these things that they sell, like coasters, just like travel mugs,
Yeah.
pillows. I'm getting some pillows for the set. Your basic stuff, shirts and whatnot, sweaters. And yeah, so they have like all that stuff. You put your designs, you design the items,
Oh, that's really great.
and then you can just sell them, and then you get to choose how much. And they start you off at a base like 20%. But I had a friend that was like reaching out, like, yeah, I'm gonna get 2 pillows and a travel mug, and she sent me like the price, and she's like, dude. And so and like I didn't really actually change anything. Do you know what I mean? I just kind of used the standard going.
Yeah.
I didn't change anything. It's all just how it was initially. So I think I'm gonna lower it down to begin, just to get some merch out there.
So is it just for like merchandise, or like can you get like uniform stuff? Because like we had
I don't
somebody
know. I don't know about
that,
uniform stuff.
that my wife had contacted, and we had like polo shirts made with the company logo and
Dope.
stuff on it, and I don't really like them. I think they're too scratchy.
Oh, you don't like the shirts,
I don't like the polo,
the material.
but like I can't remember. She spoke to somebody at some point about t-shirt. I'd rather just have a t-shirt.
Just a plain. Yeah.
Or
Me
like a
too.
baseball hat or something. But
Yeah.
we can talk about that after. You can give me the details on it. I'll check it out.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm gonna be actually like buying the hats up front. So, and they're gonna like, cause I want them legit. I want like some new era, like high quality.
A real baseball.
Yeah. I don't want
Something
shit that's,
you would wear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, cause I want to wear it.
Well, that's the tough thing, right? Because like you'll see something and you'll like I mean, not to be like a hat snob or whatever. I've got a crazy collection of hats.
Yeah, I got a
right?
good amount.
And like I haven't even bought a hat in like 5 years, but like all my hats look like I bought them yesterday.
For real. Yeah.
And like.
Do you store them in something?
No. But I store them neatly, and I have a spot for them, and like everything gets in a rotation.
Yeah.
Right. So like, football season, I've got like my football hats that I wear. And I only have the one team for football, so like, I bought all the hats I'm ever gonna buy for that team. But like in the summertime, it's like I don't wear black hats in the summertime because the sun fades them. So I'll wear. It's OCD, but I've got
Oh, you're
a process.
super serious about the fading and stuff. I get it.
I mean, I've got like a Pittsburgh Pirates hat that's probably fucking 12 years old,
Yeah.
and like, it looks like I bought it yesterday.
Yellow pea. Like
Yeah,
the
all
tip-
solid
yeah.
black. Like it's
I know the hat.
And the only reason I bought like that hat is because even the underneath is black.
Yeah.
Like your hat that you're wearing, right? Like, because you buy like a new era baseball hat, they're always green.
Yeah.
And like you're like, that's all right.
And I hate, like, sometimes I get a lot of hats online because of, like, just the things I like. Like, I'm the kind of guy, and you're good because you watch sports and you get that, but it's like some people have, like, a Yankees hat just because it's a Yankees, and it's like, well, like, just give me one person on the team.
Oh, I don't
know?
know
And if you don't-
anything about baseball. Like,
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
no loyalty with
You
baseball.
don't, eh?
I have like a million different baseball team hats, and
Nah.
I usually do it by region. So like, I lived on the West Coast for a long time, so I owned like almost every West Coast baseball team.
Okay.
Like, just because, like, everywhere from, like, Seattle all the way down to, like, Texas.
Yeah, I don't even really know a lot. Seattle, Mariners, yeah?
Yeah. But just because that was also more popular in sales out there.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, when I came here, you get a lot more of the New Yorks and the Pittsburghs and stuff like that, right? You know, you get, like, a lot of New York hats.
Yeah, I keep mine in a drawer in my closet. So they're all just kind of... Because even I find... Even if you just leave them out exposed to the air, hanging on a hook, just on your wall. Like, I see a lot of people that, like, they'll hang them.
Oh, I would never hang
pins.
it on a hook. It drives me crazy because it, like, warps them and shit.
It gets warped, and, like, I find... I mean, if you look close enough, if you're like me, you'll notice that, like, the part that you hang it from, you hang it like this, and then this part will be a little more faded than the front of the hat, and... Yeah, I'm really kind of anal about my fucking hats,
just
too,
until right now, I didn't realize like how much of a hat snob I am. But like, yeah, I've got hats that I've like intended to wear, and I'll still pull them out every now and then, and I'll look at them and I'll brush them with the lint brush and stuff, and then I'll put them back, and I'm like, I just don't have the right shirt for that one yet.
Yeah, no.
But I used to do the pairing all the time, like hats and shoes. So like, but I've just been so like out of the loop, like generally speaking. Like, I don't really care that much anymore. So, like, I have about 5 hats that I wear on a regular basis. If it's baseball hat season. Other than that, just a toque.
Do you do jerseys?
I do in football season.
Where do you get your jersey? Do you buy them in stores or do you buy them online? Because
I bought my jerseys online except for one. I'm a New England Patriots fan, so like that's the only football jerseys I have. I can't wear anything else. It's bad luck or sacrilegious or whatever.
I've been given that Al Bundy jersey, bro. That's the only football jersey I have. The fucking Pokai.
But yeah, I bought one at a store just because, like, I mean, Jesus, it was like maybe it was so long ago now, like 2011. It was on sale, and like. And I was like, okay, I will have to have it. And, like, they were just switching over from Reebok to Nike. And, like, I'm a Nike guy lifelong. So, like, I didn't buy jerseys forever from football because I was like, I don't like them. And even the basketball jerseys I have, like, Nike just got the contract back. But I have a couple basketball jerseys at home. They're old Nike jerseys from, like, the early 2000s. And, like I got, like, a wicked Allen Iverson jersey from, like, 99. And, like... It's like pristine, like it just sits there, and I've got like old Celtics jerseys and
Nike used to do the NBA's jerseys
once upon a time, yeah, and then it went to Adidas, I think, forever, and like I just like a personal pet peeve of mine is like mixing sports brands if you're labeling shit, like so like Adidas shirt with like Nike shoes, and I'm so judgy, like I'll see somebody and I'll be like, fuck. You didn't even look like at what you're doing. Or like
your life together.
Or like somebody wearing shorts with like Reebok socks and like Fila shoes or something, like whatever it is. And I'm just like,
I get you.
That doesn't make sense to me.
I have little things like that.
But it's like one of those quietly judging things I just do in my head. I just shake my head silently and like, this fucking idiot.
Fuck, man.
It's so funny.
Yeah, I'm asking because I fucking I got like 3 jerseys online. Jersey 1, do not go to them. Fuck you, Jersey 1. I'm just saying.
I bought mine directly from NFL.com.
NFL.com?
Yeah, because like that's...
Seems trusted.
I mean, that's the place to buy it from.
I'm getting like, I don't really like a lot of sports. Like I'm really mostly into combat sports. So like this is, all my jerseys are like, I don't know what you would call them, novelty or something. Like I have a Toon Squad,
like the Bel Air Academy. I saw your Toon Squad one.
And I have the Pokai,
which is
one
really dope, actually.
And I have another one of these, but the other one that I have is solid black. It's like a good one. This one, I don't know if you can see clearly basketball jersey, motherfucker, baseball shit on it. Can you see this? Like who? Got them from China, and like I thought it was a good deal, and I was looking at reviews, and I don't usually follow reviews because I'm a DC fan, so I don't really listen to reviews. But like for certain things you want to, and if I'm spending a bit of money, I want to kind of maybe check it out a little bit, and so I did. Reviews were good. got them. Toon Squad one, the first wash, the whole front logo faded because it wasn't like this. It wasn't like stitched. It was just some fucking shitty iron-on. The back was all stitched. And so, like, you know, I got to wear that once. And then Poke High one is good. And then this one, yeah, it's a basketball jersey. Came with a fucking, you know, Major League Baseball fucking patch on it. So this is literally the first time I've been wearing it. And because I knew they wouldn't really be able to see the bottom.
Well, no, everybody's seen it, so...
Yeah, it's fine. It's really not a super big deal, but I'll get something to cover it.
I've seen some of those jerseys are, like, pretty good quality, but I think I noticed one time it was, like, it was stitched on a jersey I saw. Really, it looked official. Like, it was a knockoff Nike
Oh, this
something.
looks really good.
But it was stitched, but I think the stitches were patches that were ironed on, because it looked like it was, like, coming off a little bit.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, spend $15, you take it to a tailor and they can fix that shit right up, right? If tailors exist anymore after the pandemic, I don't like, it's crazy.
Not much is gonna exist after, man.
Well, Walmart will.
Like, 3/4 of the venues that I love, like, are either closed down or have a GoFundMe page to fucking save them from closing down.
It's so heartbreaking, man. Like, you know, like, my wife and I were talking about this the other day, and it's just like, initially at the beginning of the pandemic, like, let's go back last spring to like May, and I think I read somewhere, I don't know where it was, like somewhere on Google News, the estimate in Canada was like 30 to 40% small businesses are gonna fail. And then as of like a month ago, I saw that estimate like 60 to 75%.
Oh yeah, I was about to be like, that seems a little low, man.
I mean, here's the thing is like, I heard somebody say recently, I can't remember where, maybe it was on a podcast, and we were just talking about like exposing certain types of businesses where like the pandemic has just accelerated their death rate. Like, people that disappeared right away were going to disappear eventually anyway. They haven't either adapted or innovated.
What do you mean disappear? Like businesses, you mean? That
closed down, you're out of business.
Gotcha.
You haven't adapted to the current marketplace as it is, so you know, like the pandemic basically put us ahead business-wise, maybe 10 years in a lot of respects. Like, everything is on the online now, right? And like, we kind of got the jump on it in our business a little bit because we've been doing it now. We're in our fourth year, and like, everything. My wife has been a genius with this stuff. Like, she's created a following, created a clientele base online, and like,
and she's super talented. So you know,
it's crazy, right? And on top of that, like, the way I liken it is like, okay, so once upon a time, like, go back 100 years, shopping malls didn't exist 100 years ago. Stores existed, but they were, you know, let's say frontier times or whatever, like 100 years ago, what, 1920. You had department stores, which were like just sort of starting to boom in Canada. But the reason that they boomed is because they were catalogs before that. So you would get a catalog 100 years ago, and you'd send your catalog order into Sears or the Bay or whatever, and then they would send you an order. We're doing that now, but it's the internet. So like, there's a reversal of this like shopping center stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure shopping centers are going to die. How are they going to pay their rent if every business inside of them isn't paying their rent?
Yeah, I think it's going to slowly be like sectors. Like right now, like I remember, you know, going to, okay, so a couple years ago, I think we were working together at the time. Shaggy and Sting came out with an album. And I was at work, I went on break, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking go, because I still buy albums. Go buy some fucking albums, support the fucking things that you love, because you don't want them to disappear. And so I went to Best Buy, because that's close, and they didn't have any CDs. I was like looking around, and I was like, hey man, where's your CD section? It's like, oh, we just got rid of, this is when they just got rid of them. And crazy, shortly after, HMV went down. I'm sure the game industry is going to be next, because they're starting to sell the next generation systems without even like places to put discs.
There's no disc drive. Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, that's just the beginning. The next one might not even have like this. There's two options for the new Xbox and I think PlayStation 2. So it's like, you know, you can get your option of just
forcing
downloads
you
only.
To play online. Like, there's no option to play offline.
Yeah, and I like, you know, personally, I'm like, I like one-player games. I like doing, like, co-op stuff on the couch. I remember for a while, they re-released Tony Hawk, the original one, HD, a while ago. They just re-released it again, and they did it right this time. But the first time they did it, and they didn't allow couch play. And it's like, man, that was like the funnest part of Tony Hawk.
There is innovation there, whether you can accept it or not, though, because like we grew up with that.
Mm-hmm.
We grew up. There was no internet attached to our consoles. You know what I mean? So like,
I just think there should be both options.
Like I remember even when like the first Xbox came out, like I hopped on board like right away, and like I was playing all those like early NFL Blitz and Splinter Cell and whatever, well like Need for Speed, whatever it was out at that time, and it was all offline. And then by the next roll around, everything was online. Like even PlayStation 2 wasn't online. You played, what was Vice City?
Mm-hmm.
It was all offline. The whole thing. Like, if you needed to find out a trick or something, Google, like, YouTube, none of that shit existed.
Yeah.
So, like, if you need to find something out, you'd go to, like, EB Games and you'd buy that thick-ass book.
Oh, yeah,
that gave you 100% of the content.
Fatalities are so easy now. You pause it and you can look up the fucking fatality. It's like, they don't know what it's like to fucking work for shit.
Well, it's weird, right? Like, it's such a bygone era where, like, I remember going to, like, my grandma's house, like, when I was, like, maybe 11 or 12, and they had a corner store, and she lived in Scarborough. In the corner store, they had this, like, I don't know, this Asian family ran this corner store, and I'm pretty sure it was, like, their kid, and Mortal Kombat had just come out, and, like, this kid was a wizard, because his parents owned the place, so he would just always, like, all these moves and stuff, so, like, every couple of weeks, I would go and learn a new move from this corner store and take it back home and be like a hero for about 10 minutes.
Every time someone's seen it,
oh my god. But it's so weird. Like, I mean, it's the same thing now, but it's done online and it's done in real time. It's just, everything's sped up. It's weird, man.
The thing that I don't really get about, like, it seems like these certain companies are like pushing out, like one could argue that it's going to be cheaper to make games and they're not going to have all the plastic and all these, the waste, and we could argue that, but then it's like, okay, if you're eliminating all that stuff and you're not actually physically going to have the game should be a little bit cheaper, but it's not. It's still the same price, and I think that's kind of the appeal of going digital for game companies, but the actual stores that sell the games are gonna,
I think it's cheaper for them to manufacture. At the end of the day, it's a business, and like they have to get to the bottom line. So when you make a console that has no disk drive, think of all the moving parts that are in a disk drive.
Mm-hmm.
Now you don't have that, so now that's not gonna fail. It's basically a modem, like, and you're connecting to your wireless router or whatever, and boom, you're there. And, like, I get it, but I also like that they did include the other option, so you can have one with or one without. Mm-hmm. But, like, I'm so far gone when it comes to video games anyway. Like,
if I don't play much anymore, man.
I play on my phone.
There's not a lot of good ones, dude, to be honest.
I play Call of Duty Mobile on my phone. It's, like, a new obsession. And then I play, like, word puzzles and stuff. Like, it's boring. I play, like, old man 15-minute break office games. Like, I play Words with Friends. Like,
yeah, no, I don't even mind that, dude. Like, I'm not super big on first-person shooters, and I guess if you are, it's a great time to be alive and be a gamer. But like, I'm not really. I like platforms. Like the last game that I bought is fucking Family Feud. Because me and my girl, we like to fucking, we play Jeopardy, we've done Wheel of Fortune,
those games
Trivial
are great if you have somebody to play with.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not really like sitting.
You don't want to play
yourself.
them on your own. No.
That's where first-person shooters and like racing games and stuff. Like I've always loved racing games. Racing games and first-person shooters. Like, once upon a time, I was.
Oh yeah. I knew eventually this would fall. Now it's gonna be. Okay, so hold on, don't worry.
All right, technical delay here. Once upon a time, they had, like, I was the kind of person where I would pre-order the games, you know what I mean? Like, I would go down and I would buy the game, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, like, ahead of time. And I didn't have any responsibility. I didn't have kids. I wasn't married. I worked nights, and then, like, the guys that I worked nights with, we had our own lobby that we would play in every day starting at, like, 3 in the morning, and we'd play till, like, the sun came up, or, like, it was awesome, and, like, really nerdy shit. And then I didn't play Call of Duty for, like, years, man. And games really in general every now and then. But like my stepson, he's 10, and like video games, he played video games all day if you let him, right? And then we started playing some Call of Duty like just a little while ago, and I was like,
really into it.
I was like, no, I did.
Oh, you did? Ah, yeah.
And I was like, oh, this game is awesome. So then I was like, I don't have time to be downstairs in the basement on the video, so I just put it on my phone. And now, like, every bathroom break is, like, a Call of Duty match, or, like...
What game are you guys currently playing?
I mean, the kids are playing... well, we had Nintendo Switch, which is kind of... We're sending it back right now, because it's having some issues with the Joy-Cons and stuff. But, like, we're playing a lot of Smash Brothers, and... my kids are playing Zelda and one of the Super Mario Odyssey, one of those type of games.
Mm-hmm.
But my stepson at his dad's, he's got Xbox One there, so he's currently playing a lot of racing stuff. He's obsessed with racing right now. So he's doing like Forza 7, which I didn't even know they were that far. Like last time I played it was like Forza 2, Forza 3. You know, like racing simulation stuff. It's awesome. I love those games, man.
Yeah, I'm actually more of, and maybe it's just because I'm not good at them, but I'm more of like the arcade if I was going racing games, like the Need for Speeds, and like my favorite games are from Nintendo 64, like the Cruisin' USA and the Cruisin' World.
I love Cruisin'
Those were my
USA.
favorite fucking racing games.
F-Zero and stuff like that back in like Super Nintendo days. Oh, I love that stuff, man. Need for Speed was always my favorite. We played, was it Need for Speed? I can't remember. No. You remember a game called Road Rash?
Yeah. Okay,
so like
a motorcycle game, and you would like beat each other with shit.
yeah, chains and sticks and stuff. So like I was obsessed with that on like Sega Genesis, and like I would play that, and I think like Madden '94, like obsessively, like so much so that like I would play an entire season. I would speed up the quarters in the game so they were like a minute each, and I'd play like a season every single day. Like I'd like rip home from school and be like, okay, we're doing this, and I loved it.
So who was your favorite quarterback before Brady? Because like I mean, he wasn't playing in '94, right?
No, goodness no. I think he was.
Were you still a Patriots fan before Brady?
You know what? I was like kind of all over the place for a long time. So like I was always a quarterback fan, and I grew up in the era when I first started paying attention to football. Guys that were champions and who were winning were like Troy Aikman from the Dallas Cowboys and Joe Montana and Jim Kelly from like Buffalo. So like I would just sort of like hop around like who's awesome at that position. And like, you know, when I started watching New England, it was like right before the Brady era. They went from this like, and it's gonna sound so dumb, but like they changed their logo, and then I was like, oh, that's cool. And then, like it's and then sort of like loosely started paying attention like in late '90s, and they made it to I think like a Super Bowl against like Green Bay, and they got slaughtered or something in like '97 or something.
Oh, dude!
And
that is like the time when because I actually used to really be into sports, hockey, basketball, and like I remember watching that Super Bowl that '97 I think.
Yeah, they got sort of slaughtered, and then like and ever since then I've just been kind of paying attention, right? But over time, like I whittled everything down. Again, I was baseball, football, hockey, like everything that I could. I used to be huge in like UFC, like in the early 2000s, and then like I just like you get busy, man. It's like so I whittled everything down, and I used to be the guy at work. I would do the hockey pools and the football fantasy pools and everything. It was just so time consuming, and after 2012. I think it was 2012. I was still living in Vancouver, and like they had the fucking hockey riots, and it just sort of soured me ever since. So I stopped watching hockey. Like I saw that, dude. It was the craziest fucking shit. Like we see like Warzone shit on TV. Mm-hmm. That's what it was like. Like I saw a guy get stabbed. There's like cop cars getting like I was working downtown, and like the riot police are coming up this street. The rioters are coming up this. Like it was nuts, man. It was like watching the protests in Hong Kong, like just a few months back. Like it was insane, and like,
dude, I was in Toronto during the G20.
Same thing.
So it was.
Yeah,
I saw
like,
some crazy shit there, like cop cars being set on fire, old ladies, like senior citizens being hit with like rubber bullets and tear gas, and then like, so I was only down for one day because I went down Saturday and a bunch of people I knew had gotten arrested. And I was like, well, I'm not fitting to get arrested. Like, I've been there, done that shit. I'm not trying to, like, I'm trying to stay away from trouble. So I stayed home, and when I got in, it was probably like maybe like 10 or 11.
At night?
Yeah, at night. Yeah. And I put on CP24, like I had cable. I was living at a place that just had cable, so I was checking it out, and
for the kids that don't know what cable is out there, cable is a service that you used to buy where it would give you a bunch of channels and you would use a remote to change the channels.
Remember
sometimes the show you liked was on, but most times it wasn't. And
cable. I feel like it's like that heritage moment in Canada. What was I saying?
11.
Got home, turned on CP24. Bill Blair was on, and he was like, no, we haven't been firing rubber bullets, and he was just, literally anyone who was there would have seen that these are like blatant lies, and I just saw it, and it's like, you know, I'm not really fond of police to begin with, but this just
and he was a commissioner
solidified.
at the time,
yeah, he was like, I don't know what his title was, but he was the guy who was always, you know, making, you know, press announcements and things like that. Yeah. I don't know his actual title, but he was, you know, one of the leaders of, you know, the Toronto police, and he's just blatant liar. And, yeah, so I can imagine what it was like. And that was for hockey, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy that they would do that.
I mean, it you know, at the end of the day, like, it's not the hockey fans that are doing it. The hockey fans are glued to the TV watching the game, or they're at the game, or they're in the public square with the, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's always that element of people taking advantage of something. Like,
if you're gonna fucking riot, you're gonna destroy some shit, make a statement. Those kinds of things, they really take away from, you know, when people are actually doing, like, I mean, I'm not saying I condone everything that went on at the G20, but I mean, I'm not against it either. I think, you know, like,
I mean,
whatever you have to do
as I get
to
older,
make your point,
my like rebellious spirit morphs, right? So like, you know, like I've always been a little bit more on the anti-authority spectrum.
Yeah, me too.
You know, so like, and I mean, everything I've learned politically came from punk rock. So, like, you know, being oppressed, being fucked over, like, it doesn't matter where your vote goes or whatever. Like, I always had that in me. But as I get older, I do participate in the voting process. And I do these things, and I do support my community. You know, like, my wife and I, we try to give back whenever we can to, like, our local community. But even, like it's crazy, right? Like, people that aren't going to be supported or who are going to be screwed over, like, they're going to be screwed over.
Yeah,
like,
I hear you.
You know,
I lost a lot of faith in politics. Well, I don't even know if I really had faith to begin with, but
they're all scumbags. I mean, like,
Jack Layton was the last politician I voted for. We talked about it a few times, and like he
was a solid.
Just I felt guy, like man. Was actually, and I'm not the kind of guy that's like Jack Layton's gonna save me, but I felt like he was the only one who legitimately related to people, you know, from my level, like my class of people, you know, and
oh yeah, and then
we need.
Without sort of going on a tangent about it, like, I mean, the NDP now doesn't even resemble the Jack Layton NDP.
It's kind of gross, right?
Well, it's very fringe. It's almost like the Liberal Party has replaced what the NDP was with, like, their fringe sort of environmental policies and this and that, and then the NDP moved to where the Green Party was, and the Greens are just off somewhere now. They're just, you know,
hugging trees or something. I'm not even against the Green Party, so don't take that if you hug trees. Go hug your trees, but honestly, I feel like I think most people feel like that. Like, if you're gonna vote, there's really only two choices, and that's the kind of, and I don't think either of the choices are good. So I haven't voted for a really long time.
In this country, though, we're kind of lucky because we don't have that super adversarial system. Like, because we have multiple legitimate parties to choose from, right? Like, I mean, right now we have a minority government. Like, that kind of shit would never happen with our neighbors. You know what I mean? Like, it's a straight up us or them, and like, there's no middle ground. Whereas here, like I mean, essentially, I'm a swing voter, right? Like, I just NDP like supporter my whole life. I love Jack Layton. I his supporters. I've seen people speak on his behalf and like advocates for NDP and stuff, but like as it changes, like we're in a populist movement right now, so it's like provincially I voted conservative, but I'm a small business owner. And like the Liberal government prior wasn't giving any support to small businesses. It almost chasing them away, and I don't mean like literally, but like you put up roadblocks that only help corporations, like there is no new corporations. Nobody has an opportunity.
Isn't that generally politics? Like, isn't it?
Oh, of course, and this is the dirty side of it, right? Like, because I mean, it's a popularity contest, and you get popular by telling people what they want to hear, and then you're beholden to the things that you've said to certain powerful people, and it never ends. Like, go back to ancient Rome. It's the same shit. Like, it's just mirror image. Like, everything is the same. It's all cyclical. Everything is. Politicians are dirty. They they don't care about anything other than image. It's, I mean, think of the type of person it takes to be a politician. Like, I don't know anybody personally in my entire life that I could see actually
Trudeau didn't even want to be a politician himself. Like, there's, I've seen...
But I think that's a political thing to say. You know what I mean? Like, he comes from political royalty, right?
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have a choice. He's been being groomed, I think, since he was and he's like the better looking of all of the brothers and sisters and whatever, you know what I mean? Like, the shining star, in that sort of family. But I mean, that's another story, right? But like, again, I don't know anybody in my personal life that would ever say, you know what, I'm going to get into politics. I'm going for city council or what. And it's like, because they're normal. they're not like self-obsessed narcissists and like, with like borderline personality disorder.
Well, everyone has like, there's certain thing going on. Like, I don't. Like, I'm not a small business owner, so, like, when you say that the conservatives are help, and to be honest, like, I'm not really paying attention to politics a lot anyway, but, like, that's the thing, everyone comes from a different place, and I think, when I was growing up, my nana, and, like, my family that actually took care of me, fuck you, Mom, like, they were always very clear, like, oh, you don't talk to people about religion or politics. Like, they were very big things, and then it's like, I didn't get it until, like, I got older, especially this, like, new Trump era really made it clear why, like, maybe you should just keep your opinions to yourself, because...
I don't really subscribe to that personally, though, because, like, I think, like, especially at, like, the family level, right? If you're not sitting around the dinner table talking about these things, you're not informing, and you're not, like... You don't have to follow my opinion. I want you to have your own opinion. But
Absolutely.
It's conversation. It's like...
Yeah, I don't agree with it either, just to be clear.
You ask me a question, I will answer the question, then I will ask you a question. Like,
and everyone has different things that they're going for and on different paths. And, like, you're a small business owner. I'm not. I mean, not yet. Maybe in the future I'll do something. Small business. It's the beginning.
Like, this is a business. Like, you are a business. You are a performer. You're getting into stand-up comedy prior to the pandemic and getting like a notching up.
Yeah,
what I mean?
Well, I'm trying. I'm trying to get there.
Right? Like, your business is you.
Yeah, and maybe eventually I'll start voting because I'll have, different things that I need or different things that I'm trying to protect. And, and I think, like, it is important really to discuss those things. I think it doesn't really matter your political view or where you come from. I have lots of friends. I think it's weird when...
It doesn't matter. Like, that's the thing is, like, it really doesn't, like...
But if you're a Trump supporter, like... I get why maybe you wouldn't always voice that.
But I think the problem with there's such a negative connotation attached to being a Trump supporter. A lot of people, they don't support him per se. He's the leader of the group they support, or, this is populism, right? He does and says certain things that he wants to do, and certain people will go, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily like the mouth that's saying it. Like,
yeah.
And that's populism, like, at its core. It's like, you're telling people what they want, and you are actually doing a lot of those things and changing some of those, but you're doing what's popular. And like, it was very common, like, in, like, again, like, a little bit of history here. Go back to ancient Rome. Like, Julius Caesar was the same thing. Like, he was that's, like, populism started 2,000 years ago during that shit. So it's like, tell the people what they want to hear. Like, you know what? You poor people are suffering. Here's bread. Here's what and it endears them. And people are like, I fucking love what this guy's doing. You got my support. Like, it's the same thing. And it's only within the last, like, basically since, I think, Obama, like, when he started his second term, like, politics in all of the Western world shifted to populism again.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. Like, there used to be some sort of middle ground where it's people are so far from the center now. There's no moderates. Like, nobody wants to sit and say, let's compromise. It's
I'm waiting for the rock to run, bro.
Or I think he'll do it at some point, man.
Man, if Trump can do it, the motherfucking Rock can do it. I mean, he was just voted, like, the most liked man, like, on the planet, I think, something like that.
Yeah, but who's participating in those votes?
Yeah, it's true. You're right.
I'm not
You're
voting.
right. The same people that are fucking commenting on YouTube videos. Like...
It's a very tiny minority of people. Probably less than 1% worldwide.
Oh, fuck, man.
It's crazy. I mean, politics is politics. They're going to do what they're going to do at the end of the day. Like,
they're crooks, man.
I mean...
and they have bosses, too. Countries are in debt. These people don't run countries. Fuck it.
I mean, if you can just do whatever it is that you can do so that the government doesn't need to be in your business and get paid in cash, don't advertise, like, just do your thing. Like, I feel that the pandemic has let a lot of people into this sort of, like, this other marketplace, you know what I mean? And, like, the Facebook marketplace, the Kijijis, the Craigslist, there's an underground economy that the government wishes they knew how to get their revenue from.
Mm-hmm.
And it's existed for a long time, and, like, they're always a little bit late on the technology side of things, like, because they got a huge bureaucracy to deal with. But, like, yeah, I mean, if they could tax Kijiji, they would. But, like, you can't. And, like, you can sell whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know they have their own rules built in and stuff, but, like, show me something you can't buy on there.
Yeah.
Like, I think we just sold my other car on, like,
oh, you finally did, eh?
Kijiji or
the red one?
Yeah, one of those things. Like, the car was sold. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then equally, like, I tracked down some nerds for Christmas and bought my kid, like, some really dope Star Wars figures and shit.
Nice,
that you couldn't find in the store. But, like,
fuck yeah.
Fuck those guys, man. Those scalpers, toy scalpers, they're the worst.
The only thing I've ever bought off Kijiji was, like, some Nintendo NES games. And there was, like, some weird thing, I was buying, like, the old cartridges, the fucking square ones.
Yeah.
And I was buying some sleeves, too, like the black sleeves from him.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And so he was like, we agreed on a price. I went there. He wasn't there. He was clearly, like, a young kid because his, like, mom answered and was like, oh, like, Timothy's not fucking here. And so I was talking to her and showed her, like, the thing. And then she gave me all the stuff. I went home. I got maybe, like, a dozen of the sleeves from the kid and, like, maybe, like, 3 or 4 games. And then when I got home, he was like, oh, you were supposed to pay, like, I don't know, $10 per sleeve. And I was like, bro, like, you gave me, like, 10, like, how much you think I'm paying for sleeves, dude? And, like, there was this, I don't know, this big fucking issue through Kijiji. And I don't
Deal's
know.
a deal, sucker.
Yeah. You put it up, man. So you're not even on social media anymore, dude, but you still use, like, Kijiji? What was the reason for deleting social media?
Oh, I mean, there's a number of them, but, like, so I deleted everything right before the kids went back to school, like that week, I think.
September last year?
Yeah. No, yeah, 2020, yeah. And I've been flirting with the idea for a while. Probably like at the beginning of last year, like in January and stuff, just looking for lifestyle change ideas and just basically just a thought that sort of like planted a seed, I guess. It grew, and with the pandemic and just the negativity and then like all the political shit, like I don't know, man. Like at the end of the day, I was just feeling bombarded with nonsense and with negativity. And I mean, it's the same old story. Anytime you hear somebody talking about deleting their social media or taking a break, they all say the same stuff, and it's relative, like to the individual. But like this, I was just doing this.
Yeah.
It's like, and like
I do it a lot
my
right
kids,
now.
My kids are right there. I'm ignoring, like it's, you know,
Yeah,
like
for sure.
and then
I have a love-hate relationship with it.
and I use iPhone, and every Sunday on iPhone they give you sort of like a schematic of like your week, like your usage on your phone, and you can break it down per app and shit. And it was saying I was on my phone for like 5+ hours a day, and like 70% of that was like Facebook and Instagram and shit. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like,
Yeah.
I could be like doing things that I want to do. Like I could be, you know, organizing some business stuff, or I could be going on a hike with my kids, like whatever. And now that I've deleted it, it's not that I do all those things, but there is a peace of mind that I have where like I'm not, like I don't have this inner argument anymore. Like I don't look at something and go, what a fucking moron.
Must be nice.
Like and you know, I miss some of it, and like when I deleted it, they don't make it easy. Like I had to watch YouTube videos on like how to, like it was crazy. And then like even like I deleted the Facebook first, and they were like, there was like a million "Are you sure? Are you sure?
Yeah,
Are you sure?"
right.
questions. And then it's like, okay, well, download all your photos and whatever. And then I clicked the thing, and then it was like, oh, it'll take like 7 hours. And I was like, fuck it, just delete. And then permanently delete was like the option. I was like, I don't give a fuck. Like,
I love it.
and then the next day I woke up and I still had the Instagram on my phone, and I was like, fuck it, just turf it. Like, I didn't need it. I miss Instagram probably more because it politically, and like there was no subversion on my Instagram. I followed artists. You know, so like you know, of all the people that I'd followed for years, and I was like an early adopter of Instagram. Like my Instagram account goes all the way back to like, fuck man, like 2012 or something. And like, it was just artists, like tattoo artists and painters and sculptors and like comic book artists. Like it was just, that was it. My feed was,
Yeah,
you know,
that's really why I got it. Because
And-
as soon as I started comedy.
and it's a great tool, but I don't use it as such. So like,
Yeah.
and my wife said the same thing. She would delete it if she could, but like we have business page and like, you know, so it's next to impossible. But like
That's how I feel right now.
there is it. I mean, it is a utility too, right? So like
It's definitely useful. And I feel like Instagram, like I feel like the difference, it's like Facebook is a combination of Twitter and Instagram. And like it's really good for like when I was performing, I got a lot of like most of my gigs through, you know, Facebook, Toronto comedy groups and things like that.
well, and if you're utilizing it in that way, it's fantastic, right?
It is, but like I also find that I could post like the same things on Instagram, and those really, I just got TikTok, but I find that Instagram, people from the things that I'm on, people are the most supportive on Instagram. I'm not exactly sure why, but
I think it lends itself to that because it doesn't have the negativity necessarily that. I mean, I don't know about comments, whatever. I don't really give a shit, but like, it's not the same because it's like pictures or quick videos, where like Facebook is a different sort of format, right? But yeah, I mean, you're a performer, so like, you have to get the word out.
I want to though, like because like I also spend a lot of time and like I make excuses, but a lot of the time it's like I don't really want to be on there, and I make, reasons why I have to do these certain things. And there is, but I want to get to a point where I can leave that at some point. I know.
Well, it's nice that like I can walk away from my phone.
Uh-huh.
Like sometimes I won't touch my phone for hours, but like it does slowly replace it because phones are addictive in general. So like I was saying earlier, like I'm playing Call of Duty Mobile now.
Yeah. I have like a brick breaker game that I'm fucking
and
addicted
there's like achievements that you have to. So it's like your daily login achievement. I don't have to play, but I gotta log in.
Yeah.
And it'll give me like 30 COD points or like whatever it is, right? So there it does sort of like creep back in one way or another, but yeah. And I Google the shit out of everything. My memory's getting bad as I get older, and like, it's weird. Like, I'll be like, oh, I can't remember the guy's name, and it's so helpful to just like watching a movie, and I'm like, I need to know the cast because I can't remember that guy's name.
That's what I like about Prime, dude. Is you can just pause it. And it shows you. It'll even show you like the song that's on.
What are you watching on Prime right now?
Oh,
You watch The Boys yet?
No. I just right now. We try to like generally watch 2 shows at a time. Right now we're watching Man with a Plan, and it's like a sitcom with the guy who used to be Joey from Friends, Matt LeBlanc.
Okay.
And we're watching Mindhunter on
Netflix. Mindhunter's good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. We just watched Weeds though. We went through Weeds.
Oh yeah.
That was on Prime. That's a really decent show.
Kevin Nealon, right?
He is in that. He's in Man with a Plan too.
Oh, really?
He's fucking Matt LeBlanc's brother in it. Yeah, it's really good. I'm a big sitcom dude.
I heard he was on an interview on a podcast I listened to recently. He's an interesting
Nealon?
guy. Yeah.
He's fucking funny, man.
Yeah, he was on Your Mom's House podcast.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Like maybe a month ago, and he'd done it like last year too. He's so funny, man.
He's got a podcast too.
I didn't know that.
He goes on like hikes and he interviews people on hikes.
Right.
He had Theo Vaughn. That's how I knew because I saw his.
He mentioned that. That's his big thing.
It's not bad.
And he's so quick and sharp. Like he's like, yeah, that guy doesn't get a lot of credit because he's a little older now and like maybe new people don't know him, but like his writing and stuff is like he's so sharp, man.
And he's in a lot of stuff. Like, I don't know, if you go back, like, he's one of those guys where you watch movies I used to watch and be like, fuck, he's in this. He's in quite a few things, and I actually really like his style of podcast. It's kind of unique. I'm just kind of getting into it, so I haven't seen a lot of episodes, but yeah, podcasts. Actually, you know what? Fuck, man, we're creeping up on an hour, so let's fucking let's run some fucking snacks.
Oh, you got
Juliet, try to
whole bucket of treats here.
New year, new snacks. This fucking Tokyo treat bucket. I've been trying to come up with like a name, like Snack Bucket, Snuck It, but it doesn't roll off the tongue nice. So, yeah, dude, you just pick one. I'll fucking pick one. The Kit Kat seems like, yeah, do that. That's probably the easiest way. First episode, we picked the fucking Kit Kat to.
I saw that it was like champagne flavored.
So bad. We're like, oh, let's play it safe. First episode, it was like the fucking worst, man.
I don't even know what this is. It says
Here.
Po Ricky.
Check it out, bro. This is like the thing
like
that
pretzel
fucking
sticks or something.
Po Ricky.
Po Ricky.
I can't
It's
find
got like
it.
a little picture of like a cartoon Chinese or Japanese lion.
We're dreaming of an island break in sunny Okinawa for the next year. It doesn't even say what it is. Brown sugar Po Ricky.
It looks like pretzels, kind of.
Okay. Seems simple. I grabbed this. I don't know what this is. Some sort of like cheese ball, I think.
Well, it's got an adorable little like Hello Kitty cow on the front.
Oh, what do we got here? Ooh, basically just cheese ball. Like Aji cheese. Is it chocolate?
I think so. It smells like cocoa.
Something?
Yes, maybe like maple syrup. It kind of smells like a little bit.
Oh.
Kind of mapley, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, it's like a chocolate pretzel. No? Chocolate cookie stick.
It tastes like Oreo.
Yeah.
Like the shitty part of Oreo.
The shitty part of Oreo. Yeah. I always get like the double stuff, and I'll fucking take off the top, one side from each and fucking quad stuff. That's how I roll,
like,
bro.
I love sweets, but this might be controversial to some. Oreos fucking suck, man.
They're not good, and I don't understand the like they
Those
don't
are
absorb
not bad.
milk.
They're not sweet.
They're
like,
okay.
it's-
I'm not really digging it. Like I'm not having another one, that's for sure.
No, one's enough.
Yeah.
The 12 calories.
Tokyo Treat, hit me up, man. Send me something. These are like some cheese.
I do like
Puffy
every
cheese
now and then
crisps.
going to like the international food section and buying like some weird snacks or something.
Oh, these aren't bad. These are definitely better than the first ones, I think.
Oh, you know what these kind of taste like? You
It's
know
like
those
a-
like those white looking cheesy things, the cheese puffs.
What, like the
They're like
Cheetos
corn.
ones?
Yeah.
Oh,
like
yeah, the corn twists.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
that's what that tastes like.
Yeah, it says cheese, but it's very mild. I'm a cheese guy. I really just taste fucking rice. The longer I eat them, the more I don't like it. I'm gonna be honest.
It's weird because like a lot of the Asian snacks that I've had, there's always that hint of like, I don't know if it's like fish sauce or like there's some element of like Oceania in them.
Yeah, it's true.
It's
like,
it's
why
like-
everything?
It's like why does everything taste like a shrimp cracker? It's like it's a little
like
odd.
why you put oyster sauce in your fucking mixed vegetables?
But
and shit?
but I mean I guess it's the same thing where like if they were to order like a box the equivalent and send it to somewhere in Japan of our snacks and they go everything's covered in chocolate.
Very
Or
true,
why
man.
why is everything flaming hot? You know, that literally flaming hot everything now. Last time I was at Walmart, I was like,
I'm not eating that shit, man.
for the holidays, like there's flaming hot Ruffles chips, and like I was like, what the fuck, man? Like they're just kind of going overboard on the
I like
flaming
spice, but like I'm not even a big Cheetos fan. I look at that color and I'm like,
hot. To be honest,
what is going on? Like nothing should
they're
be
not
that color.
They're not that hot.
It's like neon orange, bro. Like I'm not eating anything that's
it's
fucking
like
neon
electric
orange.
fire.
It's fucking
orange.
they like glow in the dark. Like fuck that shit. All right, dude. So I want to do top 5 with you now.
All right.
We can start. I guess I've kind of run through superheroes and stuff, so I guess we'll run that, and then I made lists for a couple, but yeah, let's start off with superheroes. Top 5 superheroes, sir.
So this is kind of a weird one for me because I love the whole superhero genre. I love everything about it. I'm also a huge sci-fi guy, so I think like some sci-fi I gotta kind of put in there as superheroes. Like overall,
Who are we talking about
man,
when you think of that?
I'm thinking first off it's Star Wars, like Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Mhm.
right? Like I believe he's a superhero. He's got superpowers. He controls the Force. He comes back as a Force ghost. All of
Yeah.
these like, you know, incredible sort of things. And as the Star Wars grows now and it gets bigger and bigger, his legend is getting more and more. And like, it's just he was always my favorite. And like, you know, even like we have our own like Star Wars names at home, and I'm Obi-John.
Oh shit!
So like,
John, that's hilarious.
You know, and
What are the other ones?
well, there's only 2 really. So it was like either my stepson Charlie, so he's a Charlican Skywalker,
Nice.
and mine was Obi-John, and we've been doing that since he was like 5 or so,
man.
and like, you know, and him and I, that's sort of our starting off point with bonding is everything is Star Wars. So like, yeah, and this superhero question, it's funny. I probably get asked this by him like every single day.
Yeah.
It's like one of his conversation icebreakers.
Who's his favorite?
It varies, but I think he starts at Batman.
It's a good starting point.
And then like for legitimate superheroes, I start at Batman, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And sort of work my way down. So if we're gonna knock 2 off the list right away, sort of an asterisk with Obi-Wan, number 1 would be Batman, and then I was like a huge Punisher fan when I was a kid, man. Like,
Hell yeah.
I was into the concept of like his gadgets and stuff, and like his little techno guy in the van that would like do shit for him and create weapons, and I would sit at home and like copy drawings of like Punisher War Journal. Like I was obsessed with like the guns and stuff. Like it's funny because I look back now and he's basically like, he looks like a go-go dancer with like the boots and like the weird skin tight blue outfit and stuff. But
Fucking badass, man.
Yeah, and then I was really in love with that first Punisher movie with Dolph Lundgren, like way back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking the one with like, Travolta.
No,
yeah,
no.
You're going before that.
I'm like my era. Like there was no superhero movies, man. Like there was a couple, and then I wish I could say like I spent a lot of time watching Spider-Man. Like when I was a kid, Spider-Man came on at 3:30 in the afternoon, so like I lived close enough to the school I could rip home and watch Spider-Man and that 90s era, and like but I'm not really a big Spider-Man. I've consumed it all, but like I think Spider-Man's kind of lame. I think
Well, we're at a time where it's just like, and I know like Batman's my dude and you could argue with me about that, but like they've done too much Spider-Man in too short amount of time, and it's kind of getting just watered down and lost in the ether because of all the other shit.
That's fine, because every generation sort of has their Spider-Man now. We were talking about this in the van the other day. Like, I don't like the Tobey Maguire one. I thought he was kind of lame, a little old.
I like the first Tobey Maguire one because that was like...
The latest kid, he's my favorite. He's Spider-Man as far as I'm concerned.
He's the best Spider-Man, but I don't know. I'm like on the fence about the quality of the actual... Like, the last one was okay, but like... And he's definitely, for sure, I think,
and the kid before, the Garfield kid or whatever, he did the one with the Gwen... whatever, and like he was good, but I thought he was a little too old.
I like those ones.
Like the movies,
but
were
then the
really
second
well
one was the second one was okay, but like I thought it was better than critics. But and they're apparently gonna reintroduce him. Like there's some really cool things in the work. Yeah, it's Marvel again copying DC because they knew what fucking DC was doing with Flashpoint.
But
I on that.
I think it's strange though. Like the. Not strange, but like Spider-Man on his own is really cool. Spider-Man was very successful, I think, in the Marvel universe, cinematic universe, because he's with really cool bad guys. Spider-Man's bad guys are lame, dude. Like they're all lame. The Sinister Six are like the lamest six bad guys like you could ever think of. Like I'm not even joking.
I'm not gonna disagree with you.
So like Doc Ock.
I like Doc Ock. That's it.
The coolest iteration of Doc Ock I've ever seen was
fucking fix this
into the Spider-Verse, and that was the coolest. And the only bad guy I even like in the Spider-Man universe isn't even his bad guy. Kingpin.
Who are you gonna say, Kingpin?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
But like every other Marvel character is based in New York City. They all got cool villains. He got stuck with these lame villains, man.
I like Venom.
Electro sucks. Yes, but you know what? Like that's not even like his original six. Like every time they make a movie, Venom's not the first guy.
Yeah,
they go back to the origins and they.
And he's branched off a lot. Like a few years ago, he was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Fucking Google that shit. Yeah. Venom was in Guardians of the Galaxy. So they've gone different ways with Venom. So
and I guess that kind of makes sense because like the origins come from space and so like I could see it. Kevin Feige is really good at like tying shit in. So like, have faith in him. But like, also in the 90s I watched X-Men. So like Wolverine, I was a huge Wolverine fan.
Fuck yeah, man.
Like that original X-Men series,
especially back then. Yeah.
Like. I mean, now it's lame as shit. You go back and watch it, like it's.
I haven't even tried.
It's dog shit.
I tried to watch Power Rangers. Can't do it.
It's dog shit. But I mean, there's so much nostalgia attached to it. But like, Batman, Punisher, Wolverine, and then it sort of gets a little murky there because like there's so many to choose from.
You can say Obi-Wan, bro.
No, I did. So he's the asterisk one at the very beginning. Then it's Batman. Then it's Punisher. Then it's Wolverine. But, like, after that, it's kind of like... I kind of like them all.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a cop-out to say that, but, like, top 5 is heavy, man. Because, like, there's so many where I'm like... like, a lot of them are probably X-Men related.
Yeah.
Like, I love Magneto.
Yeah.
He's awesome. He's not really a hero, but I love that character. He's, like... He doesn't get a lot of credit. They kind of started making him okay in the X-Men series, but like, I love the idea of him like sticking up for. He's more true to the X-Men mythos, then every other character has been developed. Like that whole civil rights kind of thing when they created those characters and but
there's something I really like about those, like the first two X-Men movies were created in a time when there wasn't this like, and that's really why I'm like a super big fan of DC, is because like I mean it's really hard to find like a theme and a formula if you just watch all their movies. Like it varies so much, and that's what I really like. But like the X-Men movies were made in a time where they hadn't developed, like Marvel hadn't developed that formula. And I know it was owned by Fox, but it was still a Marvel property. They had their,
oh, for sure,
their hands in there. And yeah, I really enjoyed, like one of my favorite comic, it's not my top 5, maybe my top 10 is the X2. Like I'll always remember that first Nightcrawler, that scene where he's like busting into the White House,
cool,
and
man.
Like there's some cool shit. And then it's like, I don't know, it really, the X-Men, I got lost in X-Men. I want to watch New Mutants, but I haven't yet.
All of the Mystique stuff in those first 2 movies was really dope. Like that whole, and like they picked, was it Rebecca Romaine or whatever her name? Like she killed it. Like
she did, yeah.
Awesome.
And now who's the new one? Jennifer Lawrence. Not as good, man.
Is she?
I don't know. She was. I haven't seen. I think there was one that I haven't seen.
And that series has been all over the place too.
Yeah, it's time to like cut ties. Well, I think that actually they're going to introduce X-Men in the MCU eventually.
Yeah.
Which will be really cool. That's going to be a benefit to, Disney buying, Fox, is seeing those. But also I think it's also if Disney owned Fox before Deadpool 1 was made, like people need to realize like that would not have been made. Like Disney's not super big on like risk taking.
Well, it's gonna be
rated R stuff.
It's gonna be interesting how they fold it in. So like as soon as like Disney Plus streaming came out, we bought it right away.
Yeah.
Like and I love it. But the thing that I like, so 30 plus seasons of The Simpsons are on there, which is fantastic.
That's
because
they
own it. But I want my King of the Hill.
Yeah, dude.
I know that they own that. And, like, I don't, like, to me, maybe it's different themed or whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe they need to have, I don't know. I don't want to say a secondary platform because I don't want to pay. but there's, like, to me, all-time best animated sitcom was King of the Hill. 100%.
Mike Judge is the man, dude. Like I don't know if he, like, what has he done that's bad? Have you seen Silicon Valley?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Silicon Valley.
Not all of it, but the first season, yeah.
Oh, the whole show's good, dude.
Yeah.
The whole show's good.
Office Space. Give me a break.
Office Space.
It's like,
Extract. Have you seen Extract?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they're
with
all
Mila
just
Kunis, I think is
yeah.
It's so good. Like and his writing has always been such. Like it's fantastic.
Yeah.
But that series, there's like 13 seasons of that. Like that needs to come out somewhere.
Yeah.
I looked at buying it on DVD. I don't even own a DVD player anymore.
Oh shit.
But like I looked at buying it on DVD and it's like it's so expensive. It was like $200 on Amazon or something for the complete series. But I mean, it'll come out on something eventually.
All right, dude. So, talking about movies, comic book movies. Do you have a top 5 like that you can think of?
I probably do. Yeah.
Do you want me to do mine first, and then you can really come up with yours?
Yeah.
All right. And this is the first time we talked about it, my buddy was like, "You can't name Ninja Turtles as one superhero."
It's a comic book,
but I'm saying. For my first one is a fucking trilogy, and I can't, because I just can't choose, and it's the Dark Knight trilogy. And obviously I believe that the second one, the Dark Knight, is the best of the 3, but I think they're all, like when I think of, like, the pinnacle of comic, like, every other comic book movie is trying to achieve what the Dark Knight achieved in my mind. Like, they're at the top of the pyramid when it comes to great comic book movies, and I can't really... It's like, when I watch them, I'll watch them in order. Like, I don't just watch one. Like, to me, it's all one. So it's hard to really separate. But if you're being technical, I would do Dark Knight number 1, and then Batman Begins number 2, and then Dark Knight Rises number 3. But I mean, for the sake of this, I'm just gonna say Dark Knight Trilogy is number 1. And then I know you're not super big on this writer or Alan Moore, and you're not?
I like Alan Moore. Oh, yeah.
You do?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Have Have you seen the Watchmen movie?
I watched
the original Zack Snyder?
I did, yeah. And then I read the comic afterward. But like for me, it was like I don't know. I wasn't wowed.
Okay.
You know, like and I don't know. Maybe I did it backwards, right? Like the guy I was living with at the time, huge Watchmen fan. Like way before the movie ever came out. Yeah. So I was already exposed a little bit, but. Yeah, I wasn't wowed. I thought maybe they cut it weird or something. Like it was.
There's a bunch of different cuts, so I guess it just depends on which one you saw. There's like a 2.5 hour one.
The first one when it came out in the theater, because that's where I saw it, right?
Yeah, so that was like I think the shortest one. That was like 2.5, and then Zack Snyder's just known for making extremely long movies. But for me,
I like his movies.
I find them good. I enjoy most of them. But anyways, yeah. So. There's a 2.5 hour version, there's a 3 hour version, and then there's a 3.5 hour version, which includes like a 20-minute animated thing within. It's tied in with the story, but it's kind of loosely tied in, you know, and it's kind of like just this animated bit that's kind of put into. Cool.
I didn't know. I was underwhelmed.
I would say the 3 hour version's the best. I'm not really a fan of like the animated stuff. I remember when Mortal Kombat Legacy. Did you ever see that web series that they did? Oh, dude. No. Okay, so really check this out. Some of the episodes, like, I think the longest one is, like, 10 minutes. So they're really short. You can get them all on YouTube. And, like, they did some... They're mostly live action. And so it's really cool to see, like, Cyborg and shit, like, live action.
Oh,
but
cool.
Then some of the episodes, they just went, like, animated. I'm not really a fan of that. I just feel like it's, like...
I don't mind it if it's done well. Because I remember they did that back in the day with, like, The Matrix and stuff. And there was, like, The Matrix... there was a whole animated...
Oh yeah, the Animatrix
and stuff. Yeah,
but it wasn't in the Matrix movie, was it?
No.
Yeah, like I'll watch the Animatrix, but it's weird to me when it's like they have sequences in movies that are animated.
Now it depends because I recently just watched Kill Bill 1 and 2 again, and they do that with the origin story of Oren Ishii.
Oh yeah.
It's awesome, and it fits perfect.
That's not too bad.
It's like a 5-minute origin sequence, and it's all done in like anime style, and it's awesome. And then it just switches right back into.
First time I saw that movie, I was on mushrooms, and I remember waking up and being like, "What the fuck did I watch? Like, I didn't. It didn't click that it was a movie." When I first woke up,
it does have.
It's like, were we watching someone being fucking buried alive last night? Like, what the fuck were we watching? Because I just remember like the punch that she was doing that stuck out in my mind. Like I had dreams about it.
It's so funny because like I literally watched them back to back the other day.
They're good, man.
They're so solid, man. Mm-hmm. I love Tarantino.
Yeah, he's good, man. He's one of those dudes. All right, yeah, comic book movies. Number 3, the 1990s Ninja Turtles. Extreme, like, holds up really well. I actually heard that, you know, with how shitty the last run of Ninja Turtle movies, and I was kind of a fan of the first one. I enjoyed the first one, and then they brutally fucked up the second one. Made Casey Jones a cop. Not a fan of cops. Big fan of Casey Jones. Fuck you. And so, I heard they were gonna redo it with the animatronic turtles, dude. Like a modern, but with and I'm gonna be real. I would fucking love that, man. I think those movies hold up really. The first two, like no one watches the third one.
The first one is amazing.
Yeah.
Now, like I'm old enough to remember that first wave of Ninja Turtles, like smacking everybody upside the head. I was in like the 3rd grade when that shit came out, and it was everything, everywhere. And that movie, when that was like
fuck. You know, man, I went 3 episodes without this falling off, so I put this here. If you notice, there's a little glare on the fucking sign now. So I put this on my light to kind of block that. Oh, this has been a fail.
Let's get a tack.
Man, it has like double-sided tape on it and shit. Never.
But
this episode has fallen down fucking twice. Anyways.
That initial movie was so dope, and I was so young, like... Back in the day when they had like sticker books and shit, like you could buy a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie sticker book, and then you would buy the packages of stickers and slap them in that book.
Oh, I remember that shit, dude.
And like every kid in my class had that, and it was like this, like obsessive, man. Like, I mean, there's so much content now that like movies like that, they don't come along anymore. Where it dominates the entire pop culture scape. Where it's like it doesn't happen anymore. Like some Marvel movies do, but it's not the same. You know, like it's not like you would go into like, you know, a Zellers or something, and everything was Ninja Turtles everywhere. It didn't matter what it was. It was like, I'm pretty sure there was probably like a Barbie with like a Ninja Turtle T-shirt on.
Yeah,
like,
Ninja Turtle yo-yos.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. And it was like everywhere. Like, and then the toys came. Like, oh man, it was so insane. But like that era was so dope. Like, and at the top of my like comic book movies list, it comes from that era too. Was like the original Batman. Like I was probably like 10. Dude, still to this day, that's the best Batmobile. That's the like I love that more than every other.
The Keaton
Yes,
Batmobile.
Michael Keaton Batmobile, and I remember being at like the exhibition, the CNE, and getting my picture taken with that Batmobile.
Sick.
When I was a kid,
Yeah.
and I was like blown away because like in real life it was like this weird dark green color. Because I guess I didn't know anything about filming or whatever then, but they use those blue lenses and stuff like that, and like and it makes it look, it was so cool, and like, yeah, I got to like touch it and shit. Like it's probably wasn't the one in the movie, right, as a replica or something, but man,
Still sick.
So cool.
I had a fucking a Power Wheels Batmobile, bro. Yeah, and I remember like I fucking rode this shit everywhere, dude, and I remember being, you know, at a certain age where I wasn't fitting in it. I was like this. You know, and I still fucking loved it. And
you're going down to the store to get smokes, and
yeah, right. And my nan was like, "Oh, you know, one of my friends has a son who would love that, and it doesn't fit you. Like, can we give it to them?" And like, I reluctantly like said yes, and I remember like handing it over and like,
oh, that's really funny, man.
Oh, it was hard, man, but that was like probably the greatest toy I ever had as a kid.
Yeah, and so like literally at the top of that list for me.
And it was the Keaton one too. It was the one you're talking about.
100%. Jack Nicholson, Joker. It was you know, Kim Basinger, Vicky like it was amazing. And it's to me it still holds up as a comic book movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like it has all the comic, like literal comic elements to it. Like the way that it's shot, the colors, everything. Like it's dark, but it wasn't too dark. I mean, it was Tim Burton, I think.
Yeah, it was.
And
first two were, yeah.
And it's like the second one doesn't hold weight.
Second one's okay, but it's just not as good as the first one.
It gets a little crazy.
There's something about DeVito's like
DeVito, Christopher Walken, the whole. It gets weird.
Yeah,
it gets weird. But again, iconic characters come out of it, like that Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer. Like, how many Christmas or Halloweens for 10 years? That was the female costume. Like,
yeah.
You know,
she's
like,
so hot in that, man. She's probably like, I think that might have been like my first crush.
And then I mentioned it sort of earlier. My number 2, it dates me, but like the Dolph Lundgren Punisher, man. like when I was a kid, those were the ones, right?
Yeah.
And then by the time I got into high school, the Blade Trilogy, man. Like
I liked the first two. I wasn't fond of the third one.
The second and third one, they're not great. But, like, it goes along with that character. Like, I love that out of nowhere, like, this sort of second-rate villain, hero character from Spider-Man had his own friggin' movie. Like, it wasn't, like, a main character of anything. Like,
it was good, too. It's also, like, you know, the pre-formula days, man.
But also, it sort of goes to that era, too, like, satellite to that movie making, and there was a lot of vampire stuff going on.
Yeah.
You know, so it sort of made sense, I guess. You have a vampire movie, but that first one, when they're like at that rave, and then like, you know, the blood starts.
Yeah,
man, it's like one of the coolest
cool,
scenes
man.
like ever. And and then it gets weird, but like,
and then it gets weird.
But
But I kind of like the weirdness in a way, man. Like, like weirdness. Like, okay, so my number 4, Constantine.
Dude, so good. I don't know if he makes
underrated,
my 5,
man.
But like Keanu Reeves, really good job on that movie. And
it's my favorite Keanu Reeves movie.
And like you could watch it and know nothing about comics and not even know it's a comic book movie.
Yeah.
It's just another one of those sort of like, you know, Antichrist sort of like movies that were sort of popular in that era too, and like, and then that first X-Men movie, that'll be my number 4. I didn't really like the bad guys in that movie. I just for me it seemed weird to have Sabretooth like right out of the gate as a bad
Yeah.
guy. There's too much backstory there, and to have him as like a sort of servant to Magneto, it seemed weird, right? Like, not saying they never. He's more of a lone wolf, right? Like,
Yeah.
he's like it just seemed weird, and then like Toad, and it's like
I like who they got to be Sabretooth. I like the actor and the performance, but I kind of agree with what you're saying.
yeah, and you know it is what it is. But that movie was awesome. It literally ushered in a new era, because it was like, holy shit! And then Wolverine was the most popular.
X-Men?
Yeah,
It absolutely
Yeah.
did.
And-
It
and-
absolutely did, yeah.
and then Wolverine was like, and Hugh. It rocketed Hugh Jackman to stardom, right? Like, this guy who played Wolverine, anybody could have played Wolverine in that movie, and they would have made them the most popular human being on the planet. Like, it was, maybe that's controversial, I don't know, but like, and then fifth one, man, I would have to say the first Iron Man,
Yeah?
like the one that started it all.
Mhm.
Like, it's so well done, and I've probably watched that first Iron Man more than any of the other. Maybe because it's the first one, I've seen it more, but like, it's so good. It holds up so well. Like,
Did Iron Man come and then the Incredible Hulk? Is that how it was?
Well, no, but like technically, the Hulk was done once before with Eric Bana, and it was
but when they did it with Norton, they were
that was
trying
after
to.
that was after I think
Because they had at the very end of that, Tony Hawk. Yeah, it might have been after
comes
the
in
first
with a helicopter,
one. Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever, and then they sort of scrapped that. It ended up working out for them, but that first Iron Man, it's so dope.
It
like
is.
like
It is.
it's the whole like the way they develop that character, and talking about rocketing another guy who was already such a good actor into the stratosphere. Like, Robert Downey Jr. kills it, man.
That was like his redemption. So like as soon as like that was like
almost, it was like him coming back in. It was like his John Travolta Pulp Fiction moment or whatever, right? But like, it's so good. And again, it's Jon Favreau, man. He directed it, right? The guy started the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Look what he's doing now with Star Wars.
so good, man.
Dude, they're giving him all the control on Star Wars now.
Well,
Like-
I mean, I don't watch Star Wars, but like I know what Favreau's contributions are to that universe and
Well, we're huge
what they are to Marvel.
on Star Wars in my house, right? So like, we just finished, like a couple weeks back, the second season of The Mandalorian, and like, it's better than any Star Wars content that I've ever seen. And like, this is going back to me being like 5 years old, like, just, Return of the Jedi was like the best movie on the planet when I was a kid, and like, wishing for probably 30 years of my life that they would make something new, and like, it's so good, man. And the way that it lends itself to streaming, because like, TV shows are so much better than movies now in a lot of respect, because you can explore, and it's expanded. You don't have to wait once a year or once every 2 years for the second version or the extension of what you just watched to come out. It's there, and it's like, holy shit, this character is complex and nuanced and like, and deep, and it's amazing. Like, all of those shows.
That's why I'm really excited for the Snyder cut of Justice League, because
they're turning it into a miniseries. Or something.
it's gonna be like 4-hour long episodes.
And it should be.
I'm happy that like there was stuff that maybe he didn't even get to finish originally, that he's gonna get to like loose ends, because originally it was supposed to be 2 movies. The plan was it was gonna be 2 movies, but now it's gonna just be one long. I mean, basically 2 movies combined, But yeah, I guess my fifth is I guess one that most people don't really recognize as a comic book movie, but I've seen it probably 50 times in my life, and I feel disrespectful if I don't put it on my top 5. The Mask Man, Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Fucking, man. Even as a kid, like before I even knew it was a comic book, I fucking love that shit. And I have a few of the Mask comic books now, and they actually just did another run last year, which is really cool. Yeah, I just really enjoy that. Jim Carrey's just one of my dudes, though. It's hard for me to think of something bad that he's been in, to be honest. Like, even his bad things are still fucking good, and I don't know. You could argue Sonic the Hedgehog wasn't good, but he was for sure the best part of that movie.
He transforms himself for those, he's a passionate actor, right? Like, and he puts himself in it. Like, we just watched The Grinch again the other night, and like,
That's a good one.
He's like, how do you not love that guy?
Yeah. He's the
I mean,
man.
the kids today aren't as attached because like they didn't grow up with all the like mega blockbuster hits like, you know, Ace Ventura, like that. Like, come on, like all those movies, even leading up to where he did the mask, like they were fantastic, every single one of them.
And even when he went like the serious route, like Man on the Moon, that's one of my favorites of his. And he has a show right now. Oh my god, how am I drawing a blank? It's been like a bit the last season. It's an HBO show, and he plays like a Mr. Rogers character. When I freaking post this, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I can't remember what it's called right now.
I read about it. I'm drawing a complete blank.
Dude, that might be like the best work of his entire life.
I loved Cable Guy.
Oh,
and
yeah, it is good.
Not a lot of people like it. I think Ben Stiller wrote that movie.
Oh yeah,
and like, it's so dark.
It's good, man. I like it. That was isn't it Judd Apatow's, like, that was one of his first movies, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. So. All I know is I think Ben Stiller wrote the screenplay, and it's so good. It is dated though because a lot of the references in that movie are to the era, but like, it's dark, man.
Stiller needs to fucking. He's been away for a bit. I haven't seen anything new, but I just went through the Meet the Parents trilogy. Fuck, that's good, man. That's some good stuff. I just want to, before we go on to the next one, I want to give honorable mention to Guardians of the Galaxy and Kick-Ass. It was really hard for me to come up with a top 5 comic book movies.
Kick-Ass is really
so
great.
I just wanted to...
But I will also give honorable mention to, like, 300 and Sin City.
300, Sin City. I wasn't big on Sin City.
I like Frank Miller, and I think his stuff is amazing. Like, you know, and sort of his adaptation of his Batman characters, you sort of seen a little bit of that recently.
Yeah, it's legend, yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic, man.
No, he's one of the greats, man. What about podcasts? You have a top 5 podcast?
I have so many.
I know you're a big podcast dude. I thought it'd be a good question for you.
I'm sort of like an early adopter to podcasts too, like going back years. It's really funny actually, because like there's a few in my library that I have listened to for so long that like I don't even realize it. I was listening to one the other day and they were doing like a clip show, and they played a clip and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. And they said it came from like episode 45. They're on like episode 600 now. And I'm just like, holy shit, like I can't believe I've been listening to it that long. Right out of the gate, one that I've been listening to solid for like the last 8 years is Your Mom's House, man. And like I'm a mommy. I love it. Like it's like I feel like I know these people. I was listening to them when they were like broke comedians, nothing famous, and now they're so successful. I feel like I have a personal relationship with them because they've been in my ear for so long. And then there's 2 others that like I don't know where they fit on this top 5. This 5 is very flexible. Like they can go in any order. It doesn't matter. But like I've been listening to Bill Burr Monday Morning Podcast for longer than that. So probably for like 9 or 10 years. Like and I've a couple years ago I took it off because I was like I had too much on my plate, and I don't have time to listen to everything. And then I recently, everything's sort of jumping to Spotify now, so like I found him again on Spotify and I was like, oh shit, I gotta start listening to him again. And so like I'm right back in. Like I took probably like a 2-year hiatus from his podcast. And then, of course, the Joe Rogan Experience, right? Like, I listen to that religiously. I have for a long time.
Yeah, that's really what got me into podcasts.
I got roped into that one back in, Jesus, I want to say like 2012 or something. Somebody said, oh, you got to listen to this interview. And he did an interview with Commander Chris Hadfield, like Canadian astronaut. Yeah. And I listened to that one, and I was like, shit, this guy's like having a conversation with people. It was like a 2.5 or 3 hour long interview, and I was like, this is insane. And I've been hooked ever since. And I don't listen to everyone. I don't listen to the fight companion stuff because I'm not really in that world anymore. I don't listen to it. And sometimes I like that he puts like 2 or 3 out a week, and I can skip some if I don't. But I listen to at least once a week his podcast. And then, I mean, what is that, 3?
Yeah.
Another one in the top 5, again, no specific order, is I listen to religiously a bunch of true crime stuff. But my favorite is called The Last Podcast on the Left.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically just three guys. They pick a topic. Sometimes they'll go multi-parts, but they do 2 podcasts a week. They do a lighthearted one midweek, and then on Fridays they release their heavy hitter one, and it's hilarious. It's basically 2 comedians and like an ex-radio guy, and they go through it, and they have quips and stuff, and like it's I find it so entertaining. And man,
I like that name, Last Podcast on the Left.
It's great, and they have their own network, and then they recently just went over to Spotify too, and all their other shows on their network did. It's really great. And then after that, it's a mishmash of like a bunch of different stuff. But one that I've been listening to for the last year pretty consistently is a new up and coming comedian from LA that I just find the guy hilarious. Is this guy Craig Conant, and he does a podcast called Community Service.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fucking good, and like he's so awkward and weird, but he's also so relatable, and like his stories, he's like a sober alcoholic drug addict who's now in like he's so relatable, man, and his stories are just it's shit and dick humor, but like it's
what's his name? Craig Conant,
and his podcast is called Community Service, and it's so fucking funny, man, and like he's not very organized with it or whatever. His cat will roll through, and like it's so good. And he like recently actually interviewed Bill Burr on his podcast.
That's pretty dope,
dude. And he was like fanboying the entire. He's like, I'm so nervous. But it was like, I guess they all share that LA connection or whatever, right?
Yeah, that's a dream of mine to do Comedy Store. Over there.
And like
bucket list shit.
Yeah, and I mean, other than that, there's like a mishmash. Like I think that's 4 or 5. I don't even know.
Yeah, I think that's 5.
But like again, like there's so many. Like I could pull my phone up right now and like in my library, I've got dozens that I'm listening to. But like, you know, I listen to one. There's a guy out of Ireland, honorable mention. It's called Those Conspiracy Guys.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah,
if I listen to it just for his like Irish brogue, like the voice, like it's awesome. But yeah, that's it as far as podcasts are concerned.
All right. Yeah, I'll go through my top 5. Real quick here. This is definitely going to be the longest episode, but I don't give a fuck. This is my boy. King of the Sting, number 1, Theo Von, Brendan Shaw.
Oh yeah, I've listened to that.
I fucking love that one. It's just silly. They fucking rag on each other. They fucking... I don't know. I find it's silly. It's like exactly what... I mean... I consider my style of comedy to be...
It's what I love about Your Mom's House. It's nothing serious about it. Like, it's a good, vacation.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably the one that I watch I'm most consistent with. Because it's just them, you know, and they have, like, their culture corner. There's, like, you know, usually about 4 of them, and then they have, you know, the guys in the edit room.
And they're so likable. Brendan Schaub is so likable.
Yeah.
Theo Von is, like... extremely likable, like.
And I remember being weird before I actually saw any of Schaub's comedy, because he was, you know, a UFC fighter and shit. You're like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna be interested in this guy, but he transitioned really well. He's really, like, I just really know him as a comedian now. I don't even think of him as a fighter.
I think in a year or two nobody will even know he was a fighter.
Yeah. Joe Rogan, number 2 for sure. Not much to say about that. Everyone knows Rogan. It's kind of hip to hate on him, but he's fucking good, man. You know, there's a reason he's at the top. The only reason he's not my number 1, he's my favorite comedian, is because I don't watch every episode. Like, there's some guests, you know, probably similar to this, where people are going to like other, you know, certain episodes more than they like others, and that's cool.
And it's the beauty of it, though, right?
Yeah.
Like the diversity of his guests. Like, I don't listen to every single one that Brian Redband's on, because I know the conversation, even though I do like those episodes, you know?
Third one is a wrestling podcast, AEW Unrestricted. There's been like a really good, like a wrestling revolution, if you will, with this new fucking motherfucker. Alright, so, it's alright, man. It is what it is. It's fallen down so many times.
Hey,
it's nothing I can do. Next episode, it's gonna... I just don't know why...
Episode 4.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Fuck. So yeah, AEW's really been killing it. They're
This
kind
should
of
be
like,
a bit. Like, this needs to happen every
episode now? Fuck. I don't want it to. I'm gonna fucking super glue it tonight. Never again.
Thumbtack in there, man.
There's no way to stick it. Oh, well, maybe. I guess I could.
It's drywall, right?
We'll figure it out. Anyways, AEW Unrestricted, number 3. If you're into wrestling, that's probably the fucking best podcast you could watch. Burtcast, number 4. Burtcast because
I like Bill Burt. I listened to it a little.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I've only seen a few, and he also has one now with Segura. Yeah. We saw Segura together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the one that Alice came to?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I remember.
That was such a good show, man.
It was, man. It was. We had like a string of. Oh, it was Theo Vaughn you didn't come to.
That's right.
That's it. We went to a few a couple years ago. But Burtcast is really good because I enjoy the guests that he has on. He had fucking Corey Taylor on. It was one of the coolest fucking podcasts. Yeah,
sweet.
dude. Really cool. He had Jason Biggs on, which you might be like, oh, but it was actually really good.
That is a part of my youth.
Like, and I like that. I like those guests, those people that you don't really get to hear from, and he has them. You know? So that's why number 4. And number 5, the homie Jamiezy and Raheel Sheikh, Wet Beak. Check that shit out. Some dudes guest. From... He was my first guest. 1, yeah. The Wet Beak. They're just really silly dudes. They do a lot of, like, chicken sandwich reviews and just, again, busting each other's balls. And, yeah, if you haven't fucking heard of that, check out the Wet Beak.
Good banter.
What else we got? Let's go MCs, because I know you're a really big hip-hop guy. I always like to hear who you're listening to. Or
I am, and I'm also era specific too, right? Like, I mean, I don't just right out of the gate relate to most of the new stuff, and it's because I'm almost 40, man. I'm like old. It's not for me. I don't relate to. I like the boom bap style hip hop from the 90s, and a lot of the guys that I like are gonna be from that era. Like, my number 1 overall, and like, it's weird because you sent me this list the other day, and I didn't pay any attention to them except the MCs one, and I was like, there's so fucking many. Like, it's almost all New York specific.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of
which is crazy because I didn't realize that, and I thought it was a little bit more diverse. But like, Guru, I love Gangstar, and I just, you know, I feel that, and he passed like maybe 10 years ago or something like that.
Has it been that long already?
It's been a bit, really long time, maybe a little bit less than 10 years. But like, I feel that like his matter of fact, like, MCing, like, it's just he's not like changing his voice tone or putting an extra he is traditional, like, MCing, like, and his style, I love it. And it goes back to a time where like it was like MCs used to have a very specific style, and it used to be all about, this is why my style is better than your style. And it was like I love that.
I love the aggression from that era too, and it was like,
man,
the lyricism, like if you didn't have lyricism back then, you would not even fucking make it out of your block.
No, and you could have that and still never make it off your block because there was so much of that.
True.
You know, like guys like Big L get held up, in this sort of like sanctified kind of like like he never made it.
He didn't make enough music, but what he made was so great.
And it's always like he was just scratching the surface. So
yeah.
He'll never make that list because like he doesn't have the body of work.
Right.
And then again, going back to New York, like my number 2, man, I'm a huge Wu-Tang fan.
Who's your favorite? Is this who you're gonna say your favorite from Wu-Tang? All right, go.
Yeah.
I was curious.
So like, if you like Wu-Tang, this can be a squabble between any Wu-Tang fan, but like, for me, it's Ghostface.
Ooh.
His voice on every track, I wait even now with anticipation when his verse comes in.
Yeah.
And like, it's all time best. And we could talk top 5 Wu-Tang. What it does, like,
yeah.
Ghostface overall. It just, to me, even still to this day, like his solo album, there's a track on there that I still think it's like one of the best beats of all time. And then when he comes in, it's Daytona 500. You gotta check if you don't know the song. It's insane. I love it so much. And then moving into number 3, Eminem, man. Like
Eminem, all right.
When he first came out and was like massive, I was in like the 10th grade, in like 96, 97, transit, whatever. You never heard anything like that. It was the most insane thing, and simultaneously, he brought Dre back. Like there was this crazy hip hop resurgence. The West Coast, East Coast shit had died like the year before, and it was just there was no Biggie or Tupac anymore.
Literally.
And like and then this new, literally new era came, and it was insane. And like it sort of coincided with this like new metal stuff that was happening. Limp Bizkit, like
it's my shit, bro.
It was
new metal.
It was all intermingled to a certain extent. Like there was it was this crazy weird era in the 90s. But Eminem for sure. And dude, even his last album, like I bought
the one that just came out.
Yeah,
I haven't heard it.
It's so good.
Music to Get Murdered By Volume 2 or something. Side B or something, right?
It's so good.
Yeah.
And like, I don't even know how many tracks are on it. It's like it's crazy, but like 70% just slap, dude. It's so good.
Well, he still has his skill. He's just not rapping. He's not as aggressive. Not rapping about the same things. But he's not the fucking same person.
But what's crazy though is like he has so many styles, and he can in one track go in and out of like 5 or 6 different styles, and it's so good. Like, man. Yeah, it's crazy. And you go back and listen to like that first album and stuff, and like it sounds so foreign and strange because he grew up in the music industry with his style. Like it morphed and adapted and like paid homage to. Like he's so. I mean, he's great, right?
Still to this day, like one of my favorite hip hop songs of all time, top 5, 100%. Not sure where it would be. I'd have to make that list, but that would take a long time. Still don't give a fuck. Dude, like, I just...
Yeah. I mean, the only
still.
criticism I ever have on anything Eminem related is, like, it's very era-specific. So, like, he has so many cultural references in every album. Like, I can almost tell you the year it came out if I hear the song. Because, like, he'll have references going back to, like, Sonny Bono dying on the ski slopes back in 90.
Carson Daly.
It's crazy.
Who the fuck is Carson? No one now would know who Carson Daly is.
No. But again, like, it's so era specific, and it's so many cultural references to that time when he recorded it.
But that's good and bad. I mean, it's good if you're from that time.
I love it, but it doesn't hold up in the sense where it's not a timeless.
I got you.
You know what I mean? And that's because he's so prolific and he just fucking writes so much. So it's like, and that's number 3. Number 4, this is where it gets kind of hard for me, right? Because, like, again, I'm a huge fan of hip-hop, and there's so much out there. And, like, if I say one after those 3 that I just love so much, I feel like I'm...
disrespecting
everybody.
Others. Yeah,
like,
no, I totally feel you. I feel the same thing.
Yeah. But, like, man, I'm a huge DMX fan.
Yeah, all right.
So he makes my top 5.
Cool.
And, like... I just maybe it's not the most child appropriate music, but like I would pick my youngest son up from daycare, and he like just turned 4 and he's Daddy, can you play Party Up? And I'm like, oh yeah.
Can I?
And then like it's so funny, and then when I pick up my other son from school, and then like we're listening to that shit on the way home, and it's a good time, and lyrically it's probably not great for them, but like y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Yeah, and then I guess that's 3 New Yorkers, 1 Detroit guy. It's tough, like, but there's a guy that's been floating around in a more recent era. Danny Brown, man.
Danny Brown, never heard.
I love him. He's not famous. He has some kind of fame, but like he's like the hip hop artist. You know, like you got to check him out. You ever get a chance?
Yeah, I will.
It's so good, and lyrically, he's awesome. And he's not famous because he doesn't look like he should be famous. He's like missing teeth and like crazy hair. And he's from Detroit, from the real Detroit. You know,
my favorite rapper, missing teeth too. But like, I feel like at a certain point, you have money to fix your teeth. But I feel like having that adds something unique to the voice. Like imperfections are beautiful.
There's a lispiness to like his songs.
And there's going to be no one else that sounds like that because they don't have the same arrangement in their mouth. Like Vinny Paz is missing like the first few front teeth, and like because of it, he has like just it adds to his voice. And it's the same with like old school singers like Steven Tyler, like. Not a perfect voice. Not a perfect voice. Crackles a lot, but that's what makes his voice so great. Like, people need to understand that. Like, perfection, I don't find beautiful, personally. I mean, the odd time, but...
I just read MF Doom died.
Bro.
Yeah.
That's a loss.
Yeah.
That's a loss to the hip-hop community. Rest in peace.
49, bro. That's crazy.
Legend, man. Legend. Like, his body of work is so immense, and it's so good, and, like... I mean, as a a chef or whatever, you gotta like one of my favorite albums is Food. It's just lyrically phenomenal. There's all these food references.
Was it him that did the alphabet song? No,
I don't know. There's a bunch of people that kind of did alphabet songs.
But my and then that's all my 5. But like honorable mention is like I love Q-Tip. I love his voice.
Yeah.
And like, talk about a guy that really worked on his craft as a lyricist and an MC. Like you can't hear him and not know that's him right away. Just whether it's his voice or his style, like, it's so good. It's so good.
Even the last Tribe album was decent, man. Like I really liked it, and they did like a performance on Saturday Night Live, where like I don't know what I'm drawing a blank right now. Who is the other member of Tribe Called Quest? He died. He passed away.
Oh man,
drawing a blank on his name right now. People are gonna fucking eat me up, and I know his name.
Eat us alive, because
Okay. Anyways, they did like a tribute to. Oh no, I thought I had it. They did a tribute to him on Saturday Night Live, and like when his verse, because he died after they recorded the album, so they had all his material already. And I remember them just like taking like a knee, and they shined like a spotlight on like I was either like a screen of his face or like a photo, and like dude, I was like getting chills. They did a performance at like the Grammys.
Well, Dave Chappelle came out to Tribe Song. He had a special come out.
Oh yeah,
same thing,
that's the song I'm about to talk about. They performed that song at the Grammys. It's like We the People, and it was like Busta Rhymes at the beginning. He's talking about President Agent Orange and all this shit, and saying like it's a whole fuck the system, and like you heard We the People, right? And so they brought it was like just after the Muslim ban. Oh dude, I'm getting fucking goosebumps right now talking about, because it's so fucking badass. And they brought a bunch of like Muslims and shit on stage. They had this brick wall, and I just remember this fucking Muslim lady with their head garments or whatever. I don't know exactly what she was wearing, but she was covered a lot, and she just fucking kicked it down, dude. And all these Muslim people like came on the stage, and like different colors, not just Muslim, but there were a lot of Muslims because it was just after the Muslim ban. And they all just like raised their fist and shit like that. And dude, like I don't think there's a more powerful Grammy performance in the history of the Grammys other than this. And it was even hard for the beginning. You couldn't find it on YouTube, bro. It was really hard to find. The qualities were like people recording their TV because,
Well, it's copyright performance, and the Grammys own it, blah, 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 blah.
I'm getting so hyped. If you haven't seen it, fucking check that out. We the People, Tribe Called Quest.
So
Grammys like 4 years ago. Phenomenal.
Yeah, and I mean, again, like there's too many to mention elsewise, but like they're all there. Like like Jay-Z. Like I mean, people get a lot of shit for liking Jay-Z because he's sort of like an old man now and a billionaire. And
I like his older stuff for sure. Like
I love it. In My Lifetime, Volume 2 is like one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's a great album.
I was like one of the only CDs I had in that era, and I basically wore it out. Like it was, I
think one of the last ones that I enjoyed was American Gangster. I think that was like he did the whole soundtrack to the thing.
Movie, yeah,
that was really good. But
it's
kind of like Kanye West.
Like, it
started off really strong.
Yeah, and Jay-Z didn't start off good. Like, it took me a while to like him. Like, I felt that he was slow and flat, and that, like, his ciphers were a little whack in the very beginning.
Well, it's because he was rolling with L, man. Like, when you're next to that guy.
Yes, but even after that for a little bit, and then he started to, like, really flex his muscle, and, like, it showed that he was working on it, man. And it was like, damn, like, he got so good. And then when he was beefing with, like, Nas and stuff and all those...
That was a good time.
Man,
I was in high school at that time. It was a very... It's like you were Nas or Jay-Z.
I think it was, like, the Blueprint. He's got, like, a line on one of the tracks that I can't even remember, but it always stands out in my head, just that line. And it only comes into my head when I'm listening to Nas. And he's like, you little fuck, I got money stacks bigger than you. And it just, whatever it is, I hear that in my head every time I put Nas on. And I'm like, Jay-Z. Fuck.
And, like, in the midst of it, like, when that was happening, like, I mean, overall, I think Nas is slightly better. But then Jay-Z came out with Linkin Park Jay-Z, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? That was like a revolutionary thing.
And again, that kind of goes to that era of like hip-hop, new metal.
Yeah.
Like, there was a lot of fusion stuff back then, man. It was crazy.
I love that stuff, man. If I was to say any style, like, new metal catches a lot of shit, bro, but like, nothing fucking gets me harder than like heavy guitar and like fucking badass fucking
DJ
rapping.
scratching.
Dude, oh my god, that's my shit, dude. Fuck, dude. Almost 2 hours. All right. What are we on now? Top 5. Okay, we're both cooks. We're both chefs. Whatever you want to call us. We have a passion for cooking. Like when you watch like cooking shows or anything like that, people have like their signature dishes.
Absolutely, yeah.
Would you say you have 5?
I would say I have fucking dozens, man. But like, I mean, what I like to cook the most, I'm like a soup and sauce guy,
bro.
Like
I don't know if you saw my list, but like,
no, I can't.
Tomato sauce. It's okay. Tomato sauce is on there. Like, I love making.
I love, and this, like, I was a prep cook for so many years, man. Like, I love just the act of getting the mirepoix ready and like making it's a weird therapy. Like, getting my onions and get my celery and I love it. I mean, I brought you turkey soup here.
Yeah.
But like, it doesn't matter what. I just like making soups. I don't have a specific soup. I like soup.
Okay.
It's the
process.
I always have. I like that aroma in the house. You know, you don't, fucker. You take the dog for a walk and you come back in and all you smell, like, everything is soup. And next to that, like, lately I've been messing around with like fermented foods, man. So like, I make my own kimchi.
Yeah.
Bomb. I love it. I grew a bunch of peppers and stuff in the pandemic, and I made a bunch of my own fermented hot sauces.
Yeah, you gave me 3 different kinds.
Dude, you should try them now. The fermentation, because it's still going, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, that, like, the one I made with the ghost peppers, the Ghost Malone one, it's so sick, dude. It's like perfect now. It's got like a lot of Indian type flavors in. There's a little garam masala, a little coriander. Oh, it's so nice.
Yeah, they were good, dude. All the ones you gave me were fucking... And I like the Ghost Malone one the best. That's, I think, my favorite one.
So good. My favorite is the Mexican style one that I did, the Dirty Verde, where it's like a lot of cumin and onion, and it's made with green habaneros. It's so good, man. I mean, that's the one I use all the time. But yeah, that kind of stuff, like, so, you know, and then other than that, like, I love cooking chicken, man. Like, I love cooking whole chickens. I do the spatchcock every time I cook them in the last, like, year or so, where I, like, remove the backbone and flay it out.
Yeah.
Little salt and pepper, low and slow. I'll put it at, like, 250 degrees for, like, 4 hours, man. And, like, literally, you can't even pick it up. You touch it, it falls apart. Like, it
nice.
Fall off the bone. Yeah. I mean, better than turkey. I mean, it's controversial. I don't like turkey. I don't like cooking turkey. I think it has no flavor. You never hear anybody say how good the flavor on a turkey was, only how moist it is. And
like, where's the gravy?
Again, turkey sucks. There's, you know, other than that, like, so I mean, soups and sauces I sort of lumped into one category. Chicken and my fermented stuff. And like I love Asian dishes, man. And I like, and it for me it goes. Everything is different. It's not. I wouldn't say a signature dish. I do 100 variations of like the same thing. So like little butter in the pan, and I use butter. I don't like to use the oil. I use a little like salted butter, little ginger, little garlic. Get it going. Little onions, little mushrooms, little celery, carrots, whatever. I get a little stir fry going. Little fish sauce, little soy sauce. Choose your protein. Fish, what it doesn't matter. And I love the Asians. It's so good. A little sambal. Like I love it. Pour it over rice, pour it over noodles, eat it as it. To me it's complete comfort food. Like I love it so much. You can do whatever you want with it. Put your baby corn, put your water chili, whatever. You don't even need it. You don't even need it. Like, but it's so good. But when it comes to all Asian foods, I love Japanese overall. I don't make the best ramen. But I love it when I make it. It's.
I've never tried. I know how difficult it is.
You're never gonna do it if you're not.
Do you use alkaline water?
No, and I'll go to like the Asian section in like, the grocery store, and I'll buy like the soup mix or whatever, and like I cheat. I don't do a proper ramen at home. I never do. I'll do like a miso base, and I'll build on that, and then I'll do my noodles. But like I'll do the thinly shaved pork and the egg, and like I love it, man. The presentation, it's
I'm a big fan of ramen, but I've never made it. I usually just go out, or I'll have like, not Mr. Noodles. I hate Mr. Noodles. Motherfucker. It's gonna happen. It is what it is. I hate Mr. Noodles. But there's these Nong Shim noodle bowls that I really like. And like they're actual bowls. They're like $1.50 a bowl. And they're really good.
My wife and my kids, they like mee goreng. They eat that like a lot. Like it's a really good flavor profile. It's not really a soup, but like there's so much Asian food in general. I lived in Vancouver for like 14 years, man. So like Japanese food, Chinese food, I anything you give it to me, I'll eat it. It like even the gross weird shit, the sweetbreads, the pig intestines, whatever. I don't care.
I've tried sweetbreads. I've even had a bull testicle. I think that was probably like the weirdest thing I've ever had. But I didn't. It was like sliced up. It kind of looked like a mushroom, to be honest. And I don't know. I ate it. Didn't even know what it was. There's so many times where I've eaten things and been like, "This ain't bad. What's this?" And then they tell you, and you're like, you know. And I don't really.
I don't really eat them too much anymore. But like, this would have been probably number one on my list overall. But like, I went keto last year, and like, so I don't eat bread. But I will sandwiches, and I don't have a specific.
So what do you use for like replacing?
bread? I don't.
You don't?
I just don't. Like, if the holidays are a little different. A bunch of shit crept back into the diet since like November, but like I just don't. Like it's terrible. There's no good keto alternative to bread. There isn't. It's terrible. But like, man, like make a good homemade like Italian type sandwich with a crusty bun with like some, you toast it with a little garlic butter on it, and like fried onions and peppers, and like
that's my shit, dude.
Some cheese.
As an Italian, that's what I live for. Yeah, dude, provolone's the fucking best cheese.
It's like, what's that place that make a pretty good sandwich? California Sandwiches.
Dude, I can't believe you said that. I was so disappointed. Okay, so I'm Italian, dude. Very big on chicken parms, and I always generally there's like one place that I get from, San Francesco's.
Dude, they're so good, man.
And then I ordered from California Sandwiches because on Uber Eats, like it was maybe like a month ago, they had like a deal. I've never had anything there, and I got it. And like, okay, maybe it was because it was Uber Eats, but when I got it, obviously you're having a sandwich.
Soggy bread?
So soggy. Like there was nothing about the sandwich that was bread. It was just like slop with chicken inside, and
you gotta eat it within 5 minutes of ordering it. Otherwise, because they put them in those like foil and paper wraps, and that's the problem with it, right? So like, best Italian sandwich I ever had in my entire life. Now, chicken parm, and man, it was from a food truck, and I used to work at some warehouse in Brampton, and it was like this food truck guy would come around, and the absolute best, and it only had like a tiny little bit of onion, a tiny little bit of mushroom, but it had like he had the banana peppers on it. Oh fuck me, man, it was unreal.
Some food trucks, especially now, dude. Like you can get some of the best foods in food trucks now. It's not just fucking fries and burgers and ice cream, dude.
It's the high watermark when I think of like a parm sandwich. I can get close. It'll take me back, but like sandwiches, we can have a whole podcast about sandwiches, like all day long. I love a Cuban or a Cubano, you know, where it's like pork, like white cheese and like mustard. Phenomenal. Like, it's simple. Sandwich should be simple in my opinion. Like 2 or 3 things. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up like super. As a kid, I could just put it together. A little butter on the bread, some mustard, provolone, salami, done. That was it. Maybe on a nice bun, you know, like back in the day. Like, I mean, now as an adult, I eat more sandwiches on bread. But when I was younger, it was always like, you know, a nice fucking Italian Kaiser or some shit like that.
Like a grilled cheese sandwich.
Yeah.
What is more perfect? It's one ingredient. Well, 2, I guess. The bread.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
But like, nothing more like beautiful than the simplicity of like a really good grilled cheese sandwich.
Do you have like a way you do a grilled cheese, like a special way? Certain cheeses, certain breads.
I mean, any bread, any cheese. Really. Well, I mean, it's all about availability, right?
Fair.
So like, you know, like my wife will argue that I always burn the grilled cheese, but I like mine a little darker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I say when I burn them too.
But we just do
episode 4, fucking suck a dick.
Overall, like, yeah, a grilled cheese sandwich, man. Like, the only thing that, like, my method has always been grated cheese. Mm-hmm. For whatever reason, I don't know whether it's true or not. I adopted it in my head that it's the only way to make a grilled cheese because it's even melted. You know, if you like take a block of cheese and you cut the slices, it doesn't melt right. You open that and it's like melted slices of cheese.
Yeah.
But I just like to put it on low, stainless steel pan, a little butter, let it brown, like really low. Like I'll put it on like 3 or 4, you know, and like let it do its thing, and then flip it. I don't press them. You can't press a grilled cheese sandwich. In my opinion, it's like a lot of restaurants will do that. Like flat top grill places, they'll have a weight they put on their grilled cheeses and stuff.
Yeah, but then you miss the crispiness of the bread.
It keeps the fluffiness on the inside of the bread too, right? Like, you know, you take like a Texas toast or something like that and put like. You don't want to squish that thing. Like, let your mouth squish it. It's, I
like using sesame bread. I generally will do, like, you know, classic cheddar, sesame bread, maybe, like, a couple slices of tomato tucked in. I could give her, you know, take her or leave the tomato, but, yeah, usually sesame seed bread, I think, is the best. I think it's that, I don't know what the fucking bread's called. That Italian bread. They have, like, their buns and their... You know, shit, I can't remember what it's called, but, yeah.
Good. We used to, when I lived in Vancouver, there was a food truck that used to go by the Vancouver Art Gallery, and it was called Mom's Grilled Cheese, and it was like, I always think of it as like a really great concept because of the simplicity of the menu, but like, you couldn't eat from there because they'd sell out by the time your spot in line got anywhere near the food, like, it was crazy, but they had like, I think it was like, a few different types of bread to choose from, a few different types of cheese, a couple of proteins. You walk up, you order, this is the bread I want, this is the cheese I want, this is the protein I want. Everything came with fries or a little cup of soup. And they put the fries in the cone and put the grilled cheese on top of the cone. You walk away. It was brilliant. And like, it's so easy. All you need is a flat top. Like, and your little fryer for your fry. Like, it's the simplicity behind it. And they sold out every day. Those guys probably made a fortune. Like...
Yeah, best food truck I ever had. You're from BC. I used to live on Vancouver Island for a bit. Taco Fino. Do you know that?
From Tofino,
Started out as a taco truck from Tofino. Now they have one on the mainland in Vancouver, I'm pretty sure, and one, like, restaurant stores. They still have the truck in Tofino.
They do a crazy fish taco, man.
Oh, and, dude, the best tacos I've ever had in my life.
Really crispy
and I'm big
fish.
on tacos. You want that shit. I know, dude. I know.
I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, dude. All right, well, maybe we should wrap this shit up. Go eat some shit. Yeah, I don't know. You don't have any social media. This is usually where I'm like, tell the people where to fucking meet.
I don't have any social media. My wife and I run a lovely company called Sweet Alice Confections, and we make boutique cupcakes. You can check us out on our website, sweetaliceconfections.com. Feel free to make an order. We'd love to make something for you guys. It's literally the best cupcake you've ever had in your life, so don't wait. Other than that, I don't have anything else going on. I gotta go home and homeschool because of the pandemic.
That's weird, eh?
Yeah,
it's weird being the dad. Oh, man, I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to be in the position.
It's okay, but it's strange because for our 10-year-old, it's easy, right? But I have a 4-year-old. This is junior kindergarten on a computer screen.
What? Yeah.
So it's.
It's got to be hard. Their attention span is not
it's hard because, as a parent, I have so much added respect for teachers, by the way. He doesn't know how to read. He's learning to read. So I'm a TA, essentially, a few days a week. With my wife and I, we swap off. And, she starts the week Monday, Tuesday. I do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday with him. And it's, it's so tough. Because, I don't have... not everybody can be a teacher. That's a difficult...
No.
And a shout out to, any teacher, especially during the pandemic, that's making it work. I'm going to give a shout out to Mrs. Almeida, my kid's kindergarten teacher.
Hey, Mrs. Almeida.
She's the best. She's engaged, and, it's hard. You're basically... You're trying to wrangle a 4.5-year-old into sitting in front of a screen. He doesn't care about Canada. He doesn't care about doing the prayers and Catholics. He doesn't and we just let him do whatever he wants to do. So it's it's in his bedroom. If he wants to go and sit on his bed with the dog while the class, fine, do that. Mm-hmm. You're 4. You should be playing with kids in your classroom with paints and Play-Doh.
What kind of work do they even give to a 4-year-old?
Well, it's interesting because it's not a lot of it is play based, right? So mm-hmm. and that's how it would be in the classroom. So they'll sing songs and they'll learn how to do a letter that day, and they'll have today's letter P, and then the teacher will do it out, and then she'll work with the kids. But they do a large group and then a small group. So mm-hmm. he'll be in a group of 6 kids. That's because it's not all day class. It's 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. And then at the end of the day, they do a play class, which is really neat. It's basically all the kids in the class that want to join. It's optional. They don't have to attend. In his school offers it, and they do whatever they want. They play hide and seek. It's great. It's kind of neat to watch. It's it warms my heart because they don't have any play. So it's we want to play hide and seek, and so if they choose my son, for example, everybody has to turn away from their monitor while he hides somewhere, and then they go individually and ask the kids, where do you think Oliver's hiding? Oh, he's behind the Christmas tree. And then you just hear my son will say, nope. and it's adorable, right?
That's awesome, man.
But they're making it work, and they're doing a great job. So
yeah, well, I think everyone's just kind of learning and adapting. I mean, most people that are alive right now have never been through something like this before. So we're all just kind of figuring it out as we go. So, there's, I guess...
we'll get through it.
Yeah, we will, man.
These things all come to an end.
Yeah, and, hopefully... When's this lockdown supposed to be done? It was supposed to, what did they say, 4 weeks?
It's 28 days, I think around the 24th of this month or something.
Okay. So we'll see. Are numbers going down? I don't even pay attention, dude. I'm so far removed from that.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to live, man.
I'll do the news apps a little bit, but I'm not on social. I don't
Yeah.
They're gonna do whatever they're gonna do. Lock it down, open it up, whatever. We're not in charge of making those decisions, so it is what it is.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in to episode 4. It's been a long one. Had some technical difficulties. Definitely going to get this fixed. Episodes are released bi-weekly on a Tuesday. I now have some merch available, so click the link if you are interested. And, hope to see you again soon. Peace the fuck out, guys.
Ciao.